Pokémon. I, the father of Pokémon. Chapter 41. Xiao Pinlong hesitated. If it wasn't for the director to come forward, he would not be willing to come and waste time. How much water can such a small fool hold? Anyway, Xiao Pinlong doesn't really believe that the Blue Dawn head can hit a big fire. Mr. Liu, can they do it? I see. Squirtle is little Arnold, not yet at my knees. A certain fire officer, under the direction of Xiao Pinlong's eyes, asked a question. Lu Sheng said, is it okay? Let's wait and see. Secretary Wen has seen it last time. You see Secretary Wen's calm face, and you don't doubt the authenticity at all. Right. Secretary Wen smiled. Lu Sheng picked up a Squirtle that was running around, wiped his smooth head, and said, don't look at the small size of the Squirtle, the water output is not low. They are still young at present, but as long as a certain amount is gathered, it is enough to put out a fight. Big fires, if you wait until they come of age, I believe are more useful than the water trucks of the fire brigade. He put down the Squirtle in the struggle, pulled out a whistle and blew it. Squirtle, who was playing, heard the whistle and stopped immediately, forming 4 rows. Jenny tilde. Jenny. Standing in 4 rows, with their 2 front legs on either side, the ranks are refreshing enough, though not particularly neat. There are some doorways. Xiao Pinlong's eyes lit up. I'm most afraid that it won't work when I buy it. At the moment, at least Squirtle's discipline is very good, and he can actually understand the whistle and form a team. Lu Sheng took off his whistle and explained, they are not low in intelligence. You can treat them as children. We only trained for half a day, and they already know how to line up. It's only half a day. Xiao Pinlong and others were surprised. Would it be possible to become a well-disciplined team with more training? It can be said that this is in line with Xiao Pinlong's appetite. Even the fire brigade has participated in militarized training and attaches great importance to discipline. Secretary Wen hadn't seen Squirtle's discipline when he came last time, and he was secretly surprised to see it now. There are always surprises every time I come here, as expected of Lu Sheng. Ah. In the line, a Squirtle sneezes. Lu Sheng's eyes widened, and he found that it was a little girl again. Anyway, they are trainable and still too young to have some ADHD. Lu Sheng quickly pulled the topic away, and then casually called out 10 Squirtle from the team. Each Squirtle has a nameplate on them, and they call their names every day during this time, and they gradually become familiar with their current names. Yes, they also recognize names. Xiao Pinlong once again appreciated it. Let's move aside a little bit, it's their turn to perform. Waiting for Xiao Pinlong and others to clear a space, Lu Sheng patted the heads of the 10 little guys, pointed to the front, and said, use the water gun over there, one piece. The 10 Squirtle inhaled, spitting out a stream of water. Clap la la. The water flow hit the open space in front, and the ground was wet. The playground has drainage channels that lead to the ground. 10 Squirtle use the water gun at the same time, and the water flow condenses into a huge water column, like a waterfall falling. Slam la. The playground suddenly flooded. Xiao Pinlong and other fire officers and soldiers were in disbelief. Their eyes fell on Squirtle's belly. It was hard to imagine how such a large amount of water could be stored in the round belly. How long will this flow last? The Squirtle's staying power lasted longer than they thought. 10 seconds later, Lu Sheng felt distressed that little Squirtle was working too hard, and stopped before Xiao Pinlong and others could give an explanation. The 10 little Squirtle had some hard work, and the spirit of the contest condition became a little worse. Zhou Churan and others hurried forward and supplemented them with nutrients. They stay in the arms of Zhou Churan and others, sucking nutrients, and rubbing charm with their little heads from time to time. They are far from adults, no, they are still in the infant stage. When they grow up for 6 months, or a year, I believe they can work for a long time. Everyone can imagine, if there are more than a dozen Squirtles, they can rush to the fire scene at a very fast speed after you are notified. Will it be able to suppress the fire to a great extent? In the past, the fire brigade may have to drive a water truck. Is it easy for the cumbersome fire truck to encounter traffic jams? If it is the Squirtle team, it can be carried by motorcycle. I believe that the efficiency can be improved by many levels. Lu Sheng stroked Squirtle's bald head, feeling a little distressed. If the Squirtle could be sold, it might be better to sell it to the fire brigade, who would take good care of them and not abuse them. In the future, Liu Sheng will be able to produce a Squirtle Special Forces movie based on firefighters. Think hard. Let's chat first. Xiao Pinlong and several other fire officers and soldiers went to the corner to discuss. Mr. Liu, it doesn't seem to be a big problem. I am familiar with Captain Xiao, and he was already moved just now. Secretary Wen said with a smile. I hope so. Liu Sheng raised his brows, and he was 80 to 90% sure. Several people discussed for 5 or 6 minutes before coming back. Xiao Pinlong said the first sentence. If our fire brigade wants to buy 10 at one go, how will the price be calculated? Really? Liu Sheng and Secretary Wen looked at each other and guessed that they were worried about the price. If the fire brigade wants to buy it, our company will of course try to provide convenience. After all, firefighting is for the benefit of the society, and the discount must be adequate. Liu Sheng explained. I will give you a thorough understanding. At present, the training cost of each Squirtle is about 80,000. Only 80,000. Xiao Pinlong was quite surprised. I thought it might cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. It seems that the price of winning 10 will not be too high, within the acceptable range. Xiao Pinlong thought about the budget he might apply for, and said with a smile, so, our fire brigade bought 10 at a time, isn't the price too high? Liu Sheng said, yes, if you buy more than 10 Squirtles, I will only charge 90,000 per unit. Does Captain Xiao agree with this price? In fact, the cost of Squirtle does not need 80,000. The main expenditure is on the nutrient solution. From seeds to turtle eggs, the nutrient solution is more than 30,000. The hatching cost is relatively low, and the subsequent feeding cost is not high, and it is less than 50,000 when it is full. Liu Sheng is only priced at 90,000, and sold 10 pieces in one go, with a profit of 400,000. Not too much, but this is just doing a business with the fire brigade in Yunhai City. If the fame spreads in the future, the fire brigade of other regions will come here, and there will be no shortage of orders. Xiao Pinlong and others were quite satisfied with the price. After making eye contact, Xiao Pinlong said, yes, but our fire brigade may have to buy 20 at a time. The city of Yunhai is not small, and they should be placed at the east and west ends. Okay, the price can be a little cheaper for you guys. Liu Sheng grinned and said, however, the Squirtles are still too small at the moment, and I hope to at least wait until they are more than a month old on my side before sending them out. Also, I hope the fire brigade can sign an agreement with our company to ensure that the Squirtle will not be sent out abused. Xiao Pinlong was stunned for a moment and said, yes, I will sign on behalf of the fire brigade. After the negotiation between the two sides, Liu Sheng will finally choose 20 Squirtles to give to the Yunhai City Fire Brigade, which will be delivered to the fire brigade a month later. The price is slightly lower. The agreement was not signed immediately. Because Xiao Pinlong can't completely call the shots, he needs to apply to the above, and he can only implement it after passing it. Before leaving, Xiao Pinlong told Liu Sheng that during the application period, he hoped that Liu Sheng would cooperate with the fire department to shoot a promotional video. Of course, not Liu Sheng going out, but letting the Squirtle go out to perform. The reason is very simple. After applying here, the above may not understand it. But a promotional video is much simpler. When others see the effect, the content of the video is clear at a glance, and the difficulty of applying is naturally reduced. At the same time, it can also promote a wave of fire brigade in Yunhai City and establish a wave of image. Simple fire officers and soldiers, but no group of cute Squirtle spread more widely. Xiao Pinlong thought it was fun when he thought of a dozen or 20 stupid Don heads lining up neatly and simulating a firefighting scene. Not to mention throwing it on the internet to spread, I believe it can cause quite a stir. Liu Sheng thought it was not a big problem. Being able to co-produce a promotional video with the Yunhai Fire Brigade was better than shouting at Pokémon. He agreed to Xiao Pinlong's request without even thinking about it. Both parties believe that the earlier the shooting date, the better, so simply plan and start shooting in a day or two. Anyway, the short film doesn't need to be too long, just 2 or 3 minutes. The next day, the Pokémon Company officially released a short introduction to Squirtle. It's not a short film cooperating with the fire brigade, but a short film prepared by previous company employees. The short film is about 15 minutes long and mainly introduces Squirtle's appearance, habits, abilities, etc. The Squirtle has a blue body and a rounded head, which increases the speed of the Squirtle swimming. The eyes are purple. The back of the shell is brown and the inside is white. Its shell is useful and can be used to fend off attacks. The tail is like a small wave. The fore and hind limbs are three-toed, and they are very short. Don't look at Squirtle, they look cute, but their intelligence is not weaker than Pichu, and they can understand human languages. As soon as the screen turned, a certain staff member was calling the name of a Squirtle. They are gentle, easy to keep and can be friends with other small animals. On the screen, Squirtle is hugging the little Pichu, taking a sip of the nutritional supplement, and feeding the little Pichu. They are the darlings of water, excellent swimmers, and their most basic ability is water spout. Despite their small size, they produce enough water and have a strong impact. They can be trained to gain all kinds of abilities, like rocket headbutts. Squirtle slammed his head into the stone, and the stone was torn apart. Squirtle was safe and sound, standing on the ground, smiling and stroking Don's head. As soon as the video was posted, it immediately attracted many comments. The number of comments from 100 to 1,000, and then from 1,000 to 10,000, is rising rapidly. An hour later, the number of comments has exceeded 50,000, the number of retweets has exceeded hundreds of thousands, and the number of video views has exceeded 100,000. I believe that there will be millions, or even tens of millions, of attention within today. Click to open the comments, unanimous curiosity and praise. Wow, that looks great. Haha. Many people say Squirtle is stupid, but I think it's very interesting. If I have the money, I will definitely get one. Do you want 250,000? The price is too expensive. We can only wait and see. I hope Lou always realizes the price of civilians as soon as possible. It was only after watching the video that I realized that they need to absorb a lot of nutrient solution, no wonder the price can't come down. I heard that some people abroad have improved the nutrient solution, and the price may drop sharply, which will become one of the main topics of this international academic exchange of genetic biology. You can look forward to a wave of pre-orders for Squirtle are also open at the same time. In one day, the first 2 batches of Squirtle were all booked. The popularity of Pichu is still high. The Pokémon company just announced that Pichu is available for reorder, and the crowd immediately poured in and sold out. In Squirtle's video, we mainly noticed 2 things. One is the appearance of Squirtle, which has been ridiculed by many netizens. The second is Squirtle's ability. Video built-in showing rocket headbutt and water gun. Everyone's evaluation of the rocket head was a practical attack. Squirtle may have practiced Iron Head. And the water gun skill. The unanimous opinion of netizens is, how much water does it store? This is unscientific. Squirtle's water spout volume has caused many people to discuss, and some people even think that the video is exaggerated, it may have been edited, or there is a problem with the camera, otherwise it doesn't look right. At present, there is no similar example in the field of genetic biology. According to the information given by the Pokémon company, Squirtle is indeed not big, and no matter how round his belly is, he can't store a lot of Tolkowski. During the period, biological designers also expressed their opinions, explaining several genetic technologies that currently exist in the field, but there is no such example as Squirtle. As a result, a large number of conjectures poured in. Lu Sheng looked at the online comments with relish. Don't look at the good reviews, just look at the comments of those who are skeptical. In fact, it is not surprising. It can be said that it is very normal and belongs to the normal thinking of people. When a new thing is born, everyone will begin to question it, and it takes a period of habituation. There is indeed no corresponding technology on the market, so it is normal for everyone to doubt it. As the old saying goes, seeing is believing. Small fishing. Lu Sheng called. Hey, here comes Mr. Lu. Huang Xiaoyu came in from outside. Under the skirt, the 2 long snow-white legs are particularly eye-catching. Lu Sheng glanced at it quickly and instructed. Go to the marketing department and tell someone, wait for a live broadcast, go to the number 1 laboratory to show Squirtle to everyone, and show Squirtle's water spout ability, so that there will always be people on the internet who are yin and yang strange. For example, Ji Yu Li, who has been trampled underfoot by Lu Sheng. Just now Gu Li jumped out again and sent a letter of unknown meaning. ZSYGHXD, SPJJJSQSGC. Someone in the comment cracked the meaning of the letters, which is the first letter of each word. It's funny enough, the video editing technology is really superb. Lu Sheng was happy at the time. Isn't this sent to the door and slapped in the face? He didn't pay attention to Gu Li for a long time, and he jumped out again. Lu Sheng didn't mind letting Gu Li be the clown again. Okay. Huang Xiaoyu left. Lu Sheng opened Weibo, tapped on it, and sent out a line of words. I have asked the staff to start a live broadcast, and everyone can go and watch a wave of Squirtle. Last time I used Pichu to swell up some faces, why do intersix people always jump out to give me a slap, why don't you guess charades? No. Say more, see you in the live broadcast room. There is one-sided support below the comments. Dare to broadcast live shows that Lu Sheng is not guilty. Most of you can guess who Lu Sheng is talking about on my OG, and a group of people commented on Gu Li's side, stirring up anger on both sides. At the same time, the company's Weibo also made a notice. An hour later, a live broadcast room was opened on the Shark Live platform. The live room account name is Pokémon Company. A few minutes before the live broadcast room opened, a large number of onlookers had already poured in. Lu Sheng is also one of them. The employee broadcasts the live broadcast, and as the boss, he watches the fun in front of the computer. The live broadcast was officially launched, and someone appeared in front of laboratory number 1 with a mobile phone. Hello everyone, I'm a small employee of the Pokémon Company. Wow, thank you for your little present, thank you. This is our first live broadcast, and my first live broadcast, so nervous. You can call me Mao Mao, my colleagues call me that. I'm still single. It's not long since I joined the company. Don't ask me if Lu Zong has a girlfriend. I don't know. A beautiful girl appeared in the live broadcast room. After a brief introduction, she entered the laboratory with another colleague. Mao Mao said as he walked, this is our number 1 old laboratory, and there are hundreds of Pokemon in it. Yes, our company calls them more uniform, they are all learned from President Lu. Pokemon, or called Pokemon. Pokemon. Yes, Mr. Lu should have thought about changing the company name from the beginning. I haven't turned on beauty, the first time I live broadcast, the camera feels a little blurry. Hey, there's the breeder room in front, let's go see baby Squirtle and baby Pichu first. The popularity of the live broadcast room is skyrocketing. The cat looks sweet and cute, has a nice voice, and doesn't show beauty. Even passers-by who don't know the situation in advance will come in and take a look. The barrages flew one by one, and the popularity value went from a few thousand to 100,000, and only 10 minutes passed. Thank you for your presents, wow that's a lot. There are also a lot of viewers who gave present, and the cat's eyes are full of flowers. If it weren't for the purpose of today's live broadcast to show Squirtle's ability, she must be thankful for each one. Under the leadership of the laboratory staff, Cat Mao pushed open the door of Breeder's room. The camera turned, and everyone saw many small creatures, either chasing and playing, or lying on their backs to rest. So cute. The cat couldn't wait to come forward and stroke the little head of a Pichu. That Pichu closed his eyes slightly and made a comfortable sound. I feel that I chose the wrong position when I joined the company. I should have come to the laboratory. It's too cute. The cat couldn't help sighing. Jenny tilde. 2 Squirtles are wrestling. One of them was so strong that it overturned the other, with the turtle shell facing the ground. Just when everyone thought there was going to be a funny scene where they couldn't turn over, the Squirtle put one hand on the ground, turned a beautiful somersault, and got up again. Ha 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 ha, fun. Let's not say that. At first glance, his intelligence is not low, and he can walk upright. Many people were amused by the barrage. At this time, a large rocket flew through the live broadcast room. Wow, thank you for this. After seeing the name of the local tyrant who gave present, Mao Mao stuck out his tongue and said, thank you Mr. Lu for the mega rocket. The local tyrant who gave the present was called Lu Sheng. Not only did one mega rocket, but a continuous wave. Lu Sheng didn't send present for no reason, he just wanted to attract traffic to the live broadcast room. Sending present is a more conventional method. After Present went out, there were indeed many passers-by pouring into the live broadcast room. Mao Mao continued the live broadcast calmly. After walking around in the breeder room, he explained to the laboratory staff that Solacean chose a Squirtle and performed a wave of water gun in the open space outside. Crash! Squirtle spit out a large rush of water. The audience in the live broadcast room can really see it. The water flow continued for a few seconds, and the cat called Squirtle to stop, rewarding him with a tube of nutrients. Squirtle patted his belly happily, as if to say, "I'm fine, do you want more?" As you can see, our company didn't cheat. It's still small now. When it grows up later, it can hold more water. Don't ask me what's going on, I don't think it's scientific either, but Mr. Liu said that this is a unique genetic technology that is only owned by our company in the world, and the No. 1 Northam Group may not be able to. Mao Mao looked at the barrage of normal exploding in the live broadcast room, not to mention how proud he was. The live broadcast effect has been achieved, is there any extra overtime pay after returning? She thought to herself that it would be fine if she didn't get overtime pay, she'd already had enough of Pichu and Squirtle just now. The Squirtle's water storage was verified live on the spot. The live broadcast only lasted for 1 hour, and it was shut down on the grounds that there are still work tasks. But there were live videos left, and many netizens uploaded them to larger platforms to testify that Pokémon didn't cheat. Lu Sheng was quite satisfied with this live broadcast, and took advantage of the time to watch it on Weibo again, only to find that Ji Yu Li might also be watching in the live broadcast room. Because after Squirtle demonstrated the water gun, that charade guessing Weibo was deleted for the first time. Is it comfortable to be slapped in the face for guessing charades? Lu Sheng posted another Weibo on his private account, and Ji Yu Li didn't give up if he wasn't angry. After the live video went viral, many people expressed their disbelief again. Everyone knows that Squirtle was written by Lu Sheng, and once again gave Lu Sheng the title of genius designer. The biological designer who previously thought there was a problem also expressed his opinion for the first time, thinking that it was too unexpected. The first time I saw it, don't say that my previous views were too arbitrary. TM, who would have thought that Mr. Liu was so perverted and developed a new genetic technology? Tisk, as far as I know, not long ago, Senuo Group wanted to buy Lu Sheng, but was rejected. Now I am afraid that there will be another one that wants to get the genetic technology. A well-known domestic biological designer expressed his opinion. Many colleagues replied below, claiming that Lu Sheng has continuously broken the normal state of genetic biology and can be among the international super class. Not only is it super first class, but the genetic technology he currently masters is even more specialized in the Northam Group, and the Northam Group has not yet produced substantial results. It is terrible to think about it. How could he have such outstanding knowledge at such a young age? There is no comparison. I have a hunch that the world will change because of him. Don't call him Lu Sheng in the future, it's more appropriate to call him Lu Sheng. Powerful biotech company. Ji Yu Li just smashed his phone. Really annoyed. Why Lu Sheng took out something new again? Squirtle. What fool, how can so much moisture be stored in a small body? Don't be angry, it's not good for your health if you are angry. Meow Lena hesitated on the side. Lena, you said, how did he do it? You are a professional, you should be able to guess a little, right? Ji Yu Li was full of expectations. I really do not know. Meow Lena was deflated like a Pichu, and said blankly, I don't understand how Lu Sheng did it. If you say that genetic creatures are given the powers of electricity, fire, and water, I can totally understand, but this time. Hey, I feel like I've learned nothing before. I've seen other works before, and I think that one day I can study them thoroughly. Now, when I face Lu Sheng's works, I have more than enough strength, it's too difficult. Quote. For a moment, Meow Lena wanted to give up her studies, but the gap was too big, which wiped out her confidence. Ji Yu Li's expression changed. After a long time, he closed his eyes and said unwillingly, I don't believe that it is Lu Sheng's technology. He used to be a scumbag. I heard Secretary Song say that he offended Huang Yuteo, and they are going to give him some color. Meow Lena opened her mouth, but some words were not spoken. For a sufficiently good biotechnology company, it is difficult to block it. It can be suppressed for a while, but it cannot be suppressed forever. If it is a dragon, it will take off sooner or later. She wished Lu Sheng was a bug, but apparently not. Senuo Group has two branches in Longtang State, north and south. The southern branch is located in Yunhai City. The person in charge of Yunhai City is Hobbs. The last time Hobbs went to negotiate with Lu Sheng, he offered generous enough terms. But Lu Sheng refused the request without hesitation, and took him around the laboratory. Hobbs didn't say much at the time, but in fact took a high look at Pokémon and Lu Sheng. After returning, Hobbs opened a dialogue with headquarters, briefly explaining Lu Sheng's request. At the headquarters, it is necessary to discuss and give Hobbs a message. Just now, Hobbs learned something from the secretary. Squirtle produced by Lushan Lab has created a special technology. The last time Hobbs had seen Squirtle, he wasn't too interested in the little blue creature, nor did he see anything special. With curiosity, Hobbs clicked on the live video and sat there for a while. Another brand new technology that can actually store a lot of water in a small organism. How did you do it? Hobbs' first reaction was similar to everyone else's, unscientific. Doduo beep. Group headquarters is calling. Hobbs is busy on a video call. An old white man appeared on the screen. Hobbs looked stunned, and respectfully said, "Chairman." The white old man is currently the chairman of the Northam Group, and the world-famous Robert Linus ranks first in the world's richest list. The status of the Northam Group today is precisely from the hands of Robert, who is affectionately called, the Hand of God, by many people. Because a new species was born under his leadership, people believe that he has the ability to turn decay into magic. Hobbs, I saw your last proposal, and I agree with your proposal. We can raise our stakes in this transaction. We must get the evolutionary gene technology. Robert's voice was tough and serious. Hobbs opened his mouth and smiled bitterly. Chairman, we may have to upgrade the rating of Pokémon. A few hours ago, Pokémon released another big news, a brand new technology that I have never seen before. Robert was stunned. Is it difficult to go back and discuss with the board of directors? An evolutionary genetic technology has attracted attention within the group, and a brand new genetic technology has emerged. He couldn't help but have a strong curiosity about the young man from the East. The emergence of Squirtle has once again attracted attention at home and abroad. How do small-bodied genetic organisms store so much water? Many netizens began to call Lu Sheng a magician, and at the same time called Pichu, Squirtle, etc. as Pokémon. When everyone talks about Pichu and Squirtle, they have to admit that they are amazing. Someone else transferred Robert's title, Hand of God, to Lu Sheng. There are also rumors that Northam Group intends to buy Lu Sheng's technology, but Lu Sheng rejected the favorable conditions. Under the circumstance that the Northam Group could not hide it, it also disclosed the matter to the public, and admitted that the Northam Group currently has little research on this technology. Now not just one technology, but two. The outside world is quite sensational, and even the world's #1 biotechnology company, Northumbria Group, has admitted its shortcomings, not to mention other biotechnology companies. The Squirtle case has sparked a heated debate around the world. Lu Sheng received an invitation letter from the International Gene Biotechnology Exchange Conference the next day. It was not arranged by the secretary, but unilaterally invited by the association. There's no reason why they shouldn't invite a bio designer who's been in the limelight lately. Lu Sheng had some headaches, but fortunately there was no mandatory requirement to come on stage to exchange technical experience. At that time, with secretary when accompanied, it shouldn't be a problem to walk through the scene casually. After 2 days of preparation for the promotional video of Squirtle and the Fire Brigade, several templates were cut out. In the office, Lu Sheng was flipping through a few videos on his laptop. Huang Xiaoyu was also on the side, watching with relish. I have to say that after video editing and exciting BGM, the whole short video becomes taller. This one should be better, what do you think, Xiaoyu? Lu Sheng asked Huang Xiaoyu for advice. Play it again, I just saw it. Huang Xiaoyu said embarrassedly. So Lu Sheng played the video again. The video content is not complicated. In the first 10 seconds, there were a dozen Squirtle playing in the pool, the sun was shining, they were swimming in the water, making some noises from time to time. After more than 10 seconds, the screen was over, and the fire brigade received an emergency notification that there was a fire in some places. The fire brigade turned on the water truck, but encountered a traffic jam. In a critical situation, the commander of the fire brigade command center had a solemn face. Notify the Squirtle Special Fire Brigade. The screen shifts to the pool, and Squirtle hears the whistle and splashes from the pool. Their movements are dexterous, not like a turtle shell on their back. The video screen turned again and came to the scene of the fire. The fire was burning. Suddenly, a roar sounded. The motorcycle stopped, and with the sound of music, blue figures jumped down one after another. The camera zoomed in under a Squirtle, and the camera slowly pulled up. Squirtle reveals his true face. Wearing sunglasses, they were neatly arranged in teams, and under the command of fire officers and soldiers, they spewed water jets. Clap la la. The fire was extinguished. The video ends with the logos of the Unkai Fire Brigade and the Pokémon Company at the end. I think this video is better. The moment Squirtle appeared, it was amazing, handsome and handsome. Huang Xiaoyu played it several times in a row, giving the answer carefully. Okay, just choose this video and send it to the fire brigade for a look. Lu Sheng is also satisfied with the video. Sunglasses are still proposed by Lu Sheng for Squirtle, inspired by the Squirtle Legion in the anime. The short video was sent to Xiao Pinlong. In less than 10 minutes, Xiao Pinlong replied okay. He has planned to publish it on the official Weibo of the Yunhai Fire Brigade. Half an hour later, Huang Xiaoyu put the phone screen in front of Lu Sheng and said excitedly, Mr. Lu, look, the fire brigade has released a video, do we want to cooperate? Well, let someone forward it. Lu Sheng opened his eyes and looked at it, it was indeed the previous video. The Yunhai City Fire Brigade may add a special unit, the Squirtle Fire Brigade. There is a video link after the simple text. The account named, Yunhai City Fire Brigade, does not have many fans, and even fewer active fans. But once the video was released, it received many likes and reposts a few minutes later, and the comments were unanimous. You have never seen a similar short promotional video, and the protagonists are not fire officers and soldiers, but a group of silly little creatures, and it is also Squirtle that has been discussed a lot on the internet in the past 2 days. Ha ha ha, it's funny and cool when I see Squirtle's face close up wearing sunglasses. Sympathy plus 10086, how can the fire brigade prepare a similar fire brigade? Wow, very special propaganda, I'm in favor of having a fire brigade like this. Squirtle's water storage is really amazing, and if it can be used to fight fires, it may have a miraculous effect. There are often traffic jams in Yunhai City. If you encounter an emergency, you can indeed dispatch a special team with strong mobility first. Like it. Some people also took a screenshot of the scene of the Squirtle team wearing sunglasses in the video, and added a touch of fun with words such as, the Big 8 come on, and, Brothers Rush. All in all, as soon as the short video appeared, it immediately aroused heated discussions among netizens. Occasionally bad remarks are quickly drowned out by comments. Later, it was forwarded through the official blog of Pokémon Company, and more fans noticed that they liked and forwarded them one after another, and the likes quickly exceeded 10,000 and 100,000. The official blogs of the fire brigade of other regions also appeared below, saying that they should mention it to their bosses when they come back. Some people also asked whether it was advertising Squirtle, but it was not true. In the face of many questions from netizens, the official blog of the fire brigade replied. Currently there are preliminary plans, and funding is being applied for. If you want to know more, you can follow Weibo, and we will notify you as soon as possible if there is any news. Do you expect the birth of a special fire brigade? Netizens, comments are of course anticipation. After all, I have seen a lot of comments in the past 2 days, confirming that Squirtle does have a large water storage capacity. Furthermore, the Squirtle team hit a lot of cute points. The number of Weibo followers of the fire brigade has increased rapidly, all thanks to the Squirtle team. The next day, Xiao Pinlong contacted Lu Sheng and informed Lu Sheng that the funds had been approved. In the afternoon of the same day, Xiao Pinlong came to Lu Sheng Company, officially signed an agreement with Lu Sheng on behalf of the fire brigade, and submitted a deposit first. Calculated according to a 5,000 deposit, a total of 100,000 deposits are given. The agreement stipulates that the fire brigade shall not abuse Squirtle, use it in compliance with the Biological Protection Law, and conduct regular health checks on Squirtle. The agreement was not fulfilled until Squirtle delivered. At present, Squirtle still needs to be under the care of the Pokémon Company, and will not be sent to the Yunhai City Fire Brigade until he is a month and a half old. The Pokémon Company needs to fulfill the following agreements. Before sending to Squirtle, the Squirtle team must undergo simple training, and the sent Squirtle must be healthy and obey orders. In general, both parties have no objection to the terms, which are all within the acceptable range. Captain Xiao, it's a pleasure to cooperate. Lu Sheng shook hands with Xiao Pinlong with a smile on his face. According to the information provided by Xiao Pinlong, there are many fire brigades in other regions currently waiting and watching, taking Yunhai City as a pilot unit. If the Squirtle squad of the Yunhai City Fire Brigade does work wonders, the other region fire brigades will also come to place orders with Lu Sheng. Lu Sheng believed that the Squirtle team would be able to do it. To be honest, I am somewhat looking forward to this special force to serve in our fire station, haha. Xiao Pinlong couldn't help laughing when he thought of Squirtle wearing sunglasses in the video. Yesterday, the video was circulated in the fire station, and many fire officers and soldiers were looking forward to it. Think about it too, in the usual boring training, if you have a special Squirtle team to accompany you, it will definitely add a bit of fun. Yes. Lu Sheng thought of one thing and asked casually, Captain Xiao knows where we can contract the next farm, ranch, or park near Yunhai City. With the increase in the number of Pokémon in the laboratory, especially in the next month, the number of Pokémon will increase sharply. It is necessary to consider contracting a piece of land or a hill to stock Pokémon. And always keeping them in the lab, with very little activity, can easily cause Pokémon to feel depressed and depressed. Although Lu Sheng reduces the negative personality genes to the extreme when setting each Pokémon's genes, the acquired environment will also affect the Pokémon's personality. If you put it in a wide place for stocking, no matter from any angle, it is beneficial. Are you planning to stock Pokémon? Xiao Pinlong lowered his head and thought for a few seconds, then said, I personally recommend the best farm, mountain forest, or park. Normal bio will choose a similar place. It needs a more ecological environment. Now that you have Squirtle, you will definitely need ponds and rivers. This is close to Lu Sheng's idea. The environment of the ranch is too single and not the best choice. The park, it seems that there is no place to contract. If you are contracting a hill, you need to invest a lot of development funds. I suggest a farm, or badly run zoo. Zoo. Lu Sheng patted his head and said with a smile, thank you Captain Xiao for reminding me. Otherwise, I never thought that a zoo would be a better choice. The area of normal will not be small, and the environment and ecology will not be single. Xiao Pinlong said, yes, if you can find a zoo, Lu can always settle down as soon as possible. I don't have a better proposal at the moment. I haven't paid much attention to this aspect, so I can only give you some advice. It's okay, I'll ask someone else. Lu Sheng wanted to trouble Secretary Wen again. If you really can't find it, go for the next best thing. The chairman and Secretary Wen said that they would give the company the greatest support policy, and I believe this should help. As long as the process is correct and the money is sufficient, it is not a big problem. The day when the first batch of Pichu will be sent out is getting closer. 3 days before the delivery of Pichu, the buyer who originally placed the order on the e-commerce platform needs to start paying the balance. A 300,000, pre-ordered buyers 98% completed the payment, and a few people delayed the payment for various reasons. When choosing to pay, a page will pop up, which requires the buyer to check before paying. If you do not agree, the deposit will be refunded. There are always many clauses, and the most important ones are: if it is found that there is abuse of Pichu, Pokémon has the right to take back Pichu, only refund 90% of the buyer's payment, and pursue its legal responsibility. In the first year of parenting, Pokémon Company has the right to visit Pichu regularly, and it can also take other forms to investigate. The Pokémon Company will not be held responsible if Pichu's attack is caused by excessive behavior. There are many clauses in the buyer's notice of the terms and conditions to guarantee the rights and interests of Pichu. Because of this, 2% of buyers are unwilling to pay, and they can't accept too harsh terms. As Lu Sheng assured Zhou Churan and others, Pichu will be protected to the greatest extent possible. They came to this world because of Lu Sheng. If they were injured because of the battle, Lu Sheng would not feel sorry for them. If they were abused by the owner after being sold, then Lu Sheng must get justice for them. Lu Sheng is not worried that someone will hide it, and the Pokémon monitoring function that was unlocked some time ago can already be used. Every Pokémon born, Lu Sheng scans and marks them all and records their information into the monitor. If Lu Sheng opens the Pokémon monitor, a large map will unfold in front of him, which can monitor the whole world, and each small dot represents a Pokémon. The map can be zoomed in and out. At present, there are dense red dots in the two laboratories. As long as Lu Sheng wants to know the status of a Pokémon, he can lock on the little red dot, and the current contest condition information of the Pokémon will pop up in the interface, which is very complete. In addition, Lu Sheng also found a particularly awesome function. After lock on Pokémon, you can choose the first point of view. The last time Lu Sheng tried it, lock on a Pichu perspective, that Pichu is charm in Zhou Churan's arms, the picture should not be too exciting. Let the time flow quietly at your fingertips, and comb your long hair until it turns white. Time is light and you will have a sunny day, my dear girl. Lu Sheng pushed open the door of the breeder room in Lab 2 and heard a familiar singing voice. Zhou Churan is in sing. On the eve of sending off Pichu, Lu Sheng often heard Zhou Churan hum this song. She sat on the cold ground, surrounded by little Pichu who was about to leave, and charm with her. The sun shines through the window and casts on her fair face. May you be warm in 3 winters, may not be cold in spring, may you have lights in the dark, and umbrellas in the rain, may time slow down, may old friends never leave, and may you have someone to accompany you along the way. The original meaning of the song is to give to the beloved girl, but it is a love song. Zhou Churan sang it recently, more like giving it to the children who are about to travel far. Lu Sheng stood there quietly, and Pikachu on his shoulder also listened quietly. After Zhou Churan finished singing, he stepped forward. What, are you sad again? He smiled, sat beside Zhou Churan, and stroked little Pichu's forehead with his fingers. No, just sing. Zhou Churan's mood is not high. Lu Sheng sighed. I feel that you are not suitable for doing it in the laboratory. Will you have to be sad for a while every time you send a batch away? This makes it more difficult for me to do it, otherwise I will transfer you walk. Don't want. Zhou Churan murmured. It's not that little Pichu is too human, I have never been before. Come on, don't sit still. Lu Sheng got up and stretched out his hand. Zhou Churan was startled, lightly held Lu Sheng's warm palm, and got up with strength. If there is no accident, we will delay sending Pichu away for a day or 2. It was originally planned for tomorrow, but we have not yet agreed on the delivery channel. Lu Sheng frowned slightly. When he mentioned this, he immediately thought of Zhongwang Group. Ah. Why? Zhou Churan was overjoyed at first and could stay with Pichu for another day or 2, but wondered what happened. Huang Yuteo is a jerk. I specifically found a few companies to ship the goods, and they refused for various reasons. I was at a loss on this matter. After asking someone, I realized that those companies are members of the Yujin Alliance. Huang Yuteo gave the members of the Yujin Alliance a death order not to accept orders from our company. Lu Sheng didn't expect Huang Yuteo to tear his face directly, and was still waiting for Huang Yuteo to send someone to talk about the sales monopoly again. Yujin Alliance now has more than half of the channels of Longtang Kingdom, including consignment, advertising, sales of genetically modified organisms. Those consignment companies specialize in the distribution of genetic organisms. They are very professional and have a good reputation. They are the best choice for many biological companies. The sales channel will not be too affected, and it can basically be sold on the e-commerce website. Advertising and shipping channels have a greater impact. Fortunately, Yujin Alliance has not controlled all channels so far. I have sent someone to communicate with companies that are not Yujin Alliance. Lu Sheng frowned slightly. I have to go back and explain to some customers that they have designated a certain shipping company. Huang Yuteo's move is disgusting enough. Do you want to force me to submit? Go for his grand dream. If it weren't for the current company's start, Lu Sheng would have to develop its own distribution channels. However, the distribution channel cannot be developed overnight. It requires years of expansion, gradually expanding from a city to a large region, and moving towards the whole country. At present, it will be delivered to your door in person within the scope of Yunhai City. A little further, the consumption of human and material resources is too large, let alone the incomplete coverage of the logistics network, which will lead to extremely low overall efficiency. Mr. Road. Zhou Churan wanted to say that he was very domineering. When others encountered Huang Yutao and Zhanwang Group, they had already bowed their heads, so Lu Sheng dared to challenge others. If the company is big enough, that's enough. But the Pokémon company is just getting started. Forget about the unfortunate things. Lu Sheng possessed himself, rubbed the heads of a few Pichu vigorously, and asked, how far have the seeds I put in last time have grown? Zhou Churan, it's about to become an egg. However, there is a very special culture tank that absorbs nutrient solution faster than others, but the growth is not particularly fast, it is a lot slower. Oh. But the number 1 super large culture tank. Lu Sheng's heart moved. Mew is placed in the number 1 culture tank. As a strong enough existence in Pokémon, it is understandable that the development speed is relatively slow. But Lu Sheng clearly remembered that when he designed the gene, the speed of shell smash for Mew was also increased a little. How could the speed be slow? Right. Zhou Churan said. We guess that the reason for the slow growth is the nutrient solution. It may be that a certain substance in the culture solution does not meet the demand, thus affecting the development speed. Lu Sheng pondered for a moment and thought that Zhou Churan's statement had some truth. In the process of cultivating organisms, not only one component in the culture solution is absorbed, but a comprehensive absorption. The various substances in the culture medium can satisfy other Pokémon, but the demand for Mew is greater, and the growth rate is limited. If it meets this requirement, it can grow as fast as the rest of the Pokémon. In addition, adding a large amount of culture medium cannot increase the proportion of this substance. A drop or a cup, the proportion of a substance is the same, and Mew cannot intelligently screen and decompose a certain substance for separate absorption. It's okay to slow down, just don't go wrong. If breeder fails, Lu Sheng won't be able to relaunch Solacean like other Pokémon. Currently Mew's Pokédex is still locked. Take them out for a walk, the breeder room is too small after all. Seeing the Pichus running around on the ground, Lu Sheng was a little crowded. Didn't Mr. Lu say that he wants to find a zoo to keep him free? Do you have any looks? Zhou Churan pushed open the door and motioned Pichu to line up to go out. The two are watching from behind. It's a little confusing. At present, there are 2 zoos that meet the requirements. One of them plans to transfer the management rights, but the animals inside are not easy to handle. I'm consulting Secretary Wen about this issue. Wait for Secretary Wen's reply. That zoo was privately contracted for several years. It's not doing well at the moment and is planning to sell it. The news that Lu Sheng learned from Secretary Wen was quite satisfactory in all aspects, but the animals inside were not easy to handle. If you continue to keep the animals, it will be a lot of money in terms of feeding and labor costs. The intelligence of animals is always better than that of Pokémon, and eating and drinking is enough to give people a headache. If the animals can be packaged and sent elsewhere, it is better than leaving them. Nanfeng Biological Shipping Company, a company whose main business is to transport pets. Lu Sheng contacted several shipping companies that were willing to ship Pichu, and finally chose a better company. This shipping company is not currently a member of the Yujin Alliance, and after communicating with the Pokémon company, the attitude is very positive. Their headquarters happened to be in Yunhai City, and they only communicated in the morning, but an hour later, a manager was actually dispatched. Hello, President Lu, I'm Luo Dan, the manager of Nanfeng Shipping. Luo Dan, who was in his early 30s, did not dare to be careless in the face of the younger Lu Sheng. The young man in front of him has created 2 new species. He is a bio-designer with a high reputation both at home and abroad. He has been in the limelight recently, and he is not a nobody. Luo Dan never dreamed that the Pokémon company would contact his own company. After their chairman learned about this, he paid special attention to it. If the chairman is not currently abroad, he may come in person. This is a great opportunity for Nanfeng consignment. The status of Nanfeng pet consignment in the field has always been neither embarrassing nor embarrassing, tepid, not bleak, but not comparable to the top domestic consignment companies of the same type. The reason is that Nanfeng's consignment started too slowly, unlike other peers who signed bundling agreements with many biological companies early. So much so that the monks had more flesh and less flesh, and reluctantly drank a few mouthfuls of soup left by others. This time, it can be said to be a surprise. Before that, Luo Dan and others never thought that Lu Sheng would come to the door. They subconsciously believed that such emerging companies and rising stars would definitely seek more famous shipping companies such as Qantas and Philippine Chong. After the chairman learned about the matter, he explained to Luo Dan that he must go all out to win it, and he could make a profit on the price. The Pokémon company will undoubtedly become the focus in the future. If Nanfeng consignment can be bound to the other party, it will definitely help the company's reputation spread. A Pichu sells for 300,000 yuan. According to the relatively public price list on the market, it costs 3,000 yuan to ship a single Pichu to any place in Daxia. Ordinary pet consignment. Normal is calculated according to the body shape. A medium-sized pet dog can be done for a few hundred. In the case of genetic organisms, classification is required. If it is just a strange shape and does not have special abilities, normal consignment is also billed according to the body shape, and the price is a little more expensive than ordinary pets. If a genetically modified organism with special abilities is shipped, there is a certain risk, and the consignment fee is naturally rising. In addition, the price of such genetic organisms is relatively expensive, and it is normal to charge more consignment fees. Luo Dan believes that even if you give more discounts, long-term cooperation with Pokémon can still make good profits. Hello. Lu Sheng said. Manager Luo came to ask for details. Right. Luo Dan rubbed his hands, expecting, can Lu always take me to see the batch of Pichus to be delivered? I've only seen it in the video, hehe, it's weird. Follow me. Walk and talk on both sides. Luo Dan asked Lu Sheng if Pichu had undergone quarantine and needed a quarantine certificate before he could be sent on the road. It has already been done. After all, it has to be delivered to every customer. If the procedures are not completed, others will think that our service is not attentive. Lu Sheng brought Luo Dan to the playground of the experimental park, pointed to the Pichu that was in action ahead, and said, those are the Pichus I want to transport. There are many domestic buyers and 2 foreign buyers. Luo Dan took a few glances at Pichu's body shape and nodded slightly. Pichu is not too big, you can choose a small shipping box. We have cooperation with other companies abroad. As long as it is not a remote country, it is not a big problem. Mr. Lu, what's Pichu's personality like? You should know that if we are transported by air, we will choose anesthesia when we encounter genetic creatures that are irritable in Pichu. Can Pichu be anesthetized? Lu Sheng can understand the reason for anesthesia. In most cases, anesthesia can be done as soon as possible to avoid unnecessary troubles that may arise. After all, it is air transportation, and any mistake may cause an air accident. Lu Sheng frowned and stretched out again. They are more obedient and mild-mannered. If you really want to undergo anesthesia treatment, you can take mild anesthetics. I know that there are anesthetics specially prepared for genetic organisms, and there will be no side effects. Also, the two discussed for a moment and determined that Pichu was shipped by Nanfeng. Nanfeng will choose air and land transportation, and there are special personnel to take care of Pichu on the road. Air transportation is relatively strict, while ground transportation does not require anesthetics to be fed to Pichu. In terms of price, it is 2,900 for air transport and 2,000 for land transport. How does Lu always feel? When it came to the price, Luo Dan cautiously probed. Airlift 2,900. Lu Sheng asked rhetorically. Then 2,800. Luo Dan's eyelids jumped, and he quickly lowered the price by another 100. Land transport 2,000. Lu Sheng asked again. 1,800. As soon as Luo Dan gritted his teeth, the price of land transportation also decreased. Make a deal. Lu Sheng thought about it, the price was feasible, and he no longer dawdled with the other party. Among the first batch of 100 Pichus, in addition to Gigi's evolution into Pikachu, Mianmian, who was trained as a coach, And 3 other Pichus remained, and a total of Pichus were given away. Luo Dan and Lu Sheng finished planning and did not choose to leave. After hesitating for a long time, he proposed to Lu Sheng the idea of cooperation between the two companies. Long-term cooperation with my company. Lu Sheng smiled and said without a smile, I want to see what the results are. I will talk about this later. If Nan Feng's consignment is not done well this time, don't blame me for not giving your company face. Mr. Lu is right, and I will definitely arrange VIP services for Pichus when I look back. Luo Dan wiped his forehead, thinking that he must take good care of Pichu when he goes back, otherwise he made a mistake and missed the good opportunity to cooperate with Pokémon Company. Otherwise, the chairman will blame him, and he will not be able to bear it. Is it just VIP service? Lu Sheng grinned, revealing his white teeth. No, it's a supreme VIP. I will definitely treat Pichu as my ancestor. You can rest assured, Mr. Lu, I will never make a slight difference, and use the best treatment. Luo Dan patted his chest and made a promise. The next day, one by one Pichu took the initiative to get into the pet box and waved goodbye to everyone. Lu Sheng, Zhou Churan and others were all present. Pichu tilde. Yeah. They knew that they were about to go to various places, and there were many little Pichu lying in the pet box sadly, with teary eyes. Zhou Churan wiped away tears secretly, and Lu Sheng's nose was sore, and he almost cried. Little guys, go to the new owner's house, I believe you can be well taken care of. Lu Sheng said silently in his heart. Pick up. Gigi was tugging at the cuffs of Lu Sheng's trousers, as if begging Lu Sheng not to send them away. Gigi, they can't be with us forever, don't worry, I won't let them get hurt. Lu Sheng picked up Gigi and rubbed its little head. Gigi kept her head away, she didn't want to pay attention to Lu Sheng. You guy. Lu Sheng didn't blame Gigi. They are brothers and sisters, and they get along day and night and have a deep relationship. Pichu Mian was fascinated, and when the little Pichus were sent to the car one by one, he regained his senses, and there were crystal tears in the corners of his eyes. Lu Sheng turned around and found that Zhou Churan waited for tears. Ooh. Zhou Churan fell into Lu Sheng's arms and choked on his shoulders. Don't worry, I believe that little Pichu will have a happy family, I promise. Lu Sheng let Zhou Churan's tears soak his shoulders. Everyone didn't care about Lu Sheng's comfort. How could Pichu know when he was wronged when Pichu was in the hands of others? Mom, I'm going to get Pichu. In a mansion, a young and beautiful girl just received a phone call and put on her shoes. You prodigal son, you really bought that kind of little thing. If you dare to bring it back, I will throw it out for you tomorrow. A lady was very annoyed. Pets are not allowed at home. Last time my daughter joked about raising a Pichu, her first reaction was to disagree. However, unexpectedly, my daughter has already bought it and paid 300,000. God, a little yellow-skinned mouse costs 300,000, why doesn't that fool company called Pokémon rob it? What's so good about pets? Or genetic organisms, how dangerous? That little yellow-skinned mouse will also discharge, if you're not careful. The young woman didn't dare to think about it, she just hoped to return it. HMPH, then I'll run away from home. The daughter had already run out happily, and the voice came from outside. Little fool, you're mad at me. The young woman grabbed her slippers and was about to give them a beating, but her daughter was nowhere to be seen. Be sure to return Pichu for 300,000. She said firmly in her heart. Although there is no shortage of money at home, it is not worth spending 300,000 yuan on a little mouse. 10 minutes later, the girl slipped in from outside, carrying a small pet box in her hand. She looked step by step, worried that the vicious old mother would come to trouble. Little guy, what's your name? The girl opened the pet box, lay on the ground, and said gently, get to know me, my name is Zhou K. Well, don't be afraid, come out, I won't hurt you. Pichu. Little Pichu stuck his head out, looked around, sniffed the girl's palm, and rubbed his little head. Wow, so cute, I will never let the vicious mother send you back. Hey, is this your name? Your name is Kiki too. It's so fateful. Zhou K hugged Pichu and rolled on the ground. It's no accident that the names are similar. When Pokémon Company assigned Pichu to Zhou K, it deliberately assigned Pichu with a similar name to her, which was the scene that Zhou K thought was more fateful. Little bunny. Mother Joe appeared behind her back with a gloomy face. She was going to reprimand her daughter, but when she saw her daughter rolling with joy, her heart softened. Forget it, 300,000 isn't much. It's fine for Kiki to have a playmate, as long as you don't destroy me everywhere and poop everywhere. She put down the slippers in her hand and left quietly. Before leaving, I looked at Pichu a few more times, and couldn't help but think, it's really cute. Pichu Pichu. Kiki pointed to the back with her short finger. Joe-K turned around and saw the vicious old mother quietly retreating. Hee, haven't you accepted it yet? Kiki, you have to work hard. I read on the internet that as long as you bring your pet home, your parents will be able to settle it with pets, right? Joe-K has seen many examples of netizens whose parents did not agree to keep pets and threatened to throw them away one by one. Once a pet is brought home, pets can change their minds by their charisma. Because of this, Joe-K took the risk of buying a Pichu. She thought, how could such a cute little creature not be able to settle her parents? By the way, there is also a small manual. Joe-K took out a booklet from the pet box, the size of a palm, with a small logo of the Pokémon company on the book cover. A pattern with red on top and white on the bottom with a white circle in the middle. Only Lu Sheng in the world understands the meaning of the pattern, which represents the most common Pokeball simple pattern. Joe-K flipped through the pamphlet, which introduced Pichu's habits and favorite foods. For more information, you can log into the official website XXXXXX to view. There are Pichu's Pokédex and training methods. So Joe-K took out his mobile phone and looked at it for a while, and knew more about Pichu. At this time, someone is paying attention to this scene through Pichu Kiki's eyes. It is Lu Sheng. In the office, Lu Sheng just called out the perspective of the batch of Pichu that was sent out. Someone has already received Pichu, and it should be delivered to the door by employees in the city of Yunhai. Lu Sheng looked at it for a moment, and found that the owner pitied Pichu enough. He was relieved, and moved on to the vision of the next Pichu. Most of the Pichu are still in the pet box, some are already on the plane, some are in the car. Through Pichu's vision, Lu Sheng was able to know immediately whether Luo Dan fulfilled his promise. Nan Feng seems to take this matter more seriously, and every Pichu is well taken care of. Hey, this Pichu has also arrived home. There are a lot of pets in this family. It seems that its owner will not be bad. I just hope that it will not be bullied by the original pets in the family. We're here too. It looks like it might be a trainer. Lu Sheng observed one by one, and a few were sent to buyers in Yunhai City. Almost every buyer will cherish Pichu, greet each other warmly, give delicious food and drink, and quickly get to know Pichu. Pichu, who was originally quiet in sadness, gradually became familiar with his new home. Joe-K, that's the fruit prepared for Kiki, don't steal it. Getting up in the morning, Joe-K brushed his teeth and washed his face, ready to eat some fruit for breakfast. However, when she was about to take away a plate of her favorite Sydney, she was yelled at by the vicious old mother. Joe-K was stunned. Didn't you dislike Pichu Kiki 2 days ago? Kiki climbed on your lap. You said that the small things are unsanitary. There must be a lot of bacteria all over your body, and you even took the small things away. What are you doing now? Not only did he not dislike it, but he let Kiki climb onto the table and eat Sydney from the plate. Mom, where's my share? Joe-K wrong Baba. There's one left in the refrigerator. I'll give it to Kiki, and I'll ask Aunt Wong to buy it for you. Eat it every day, won't you get tired of it? You're fat to death, little girl. The vicious old mother babbled and expressed her dissatisfaction with Joe-K. Joe-K wanted to cry without tears. I'm only 16 years old. When I was growing up, the last Sydney pair was actually given to Kiki, not me. Are you my biological mother? Mom. Joe-K let out a serious cry. Why? Joe's mother was still fierce and impatient. Did I pay for the phone bill? Joe-K pursed his lips. Yes. It's paid for the phone bill, so hurry up and don't get in the way here. Ouch. Kiki is so cute. Mother Joe bent down and stared at Pichu Kiki nibbling on Sydney slices, her face blooming with a smile. Pichu Pichu. Kiki picked up a piece of Sydney and handed it to Joe-K. Joe-K's eyes lit up, and she said in her heart that little things have a conscience. Getting ready to pick up. Mother Joe snatched it away and said with a smile, The little guy is so good, and he knows how to share. Hey, if all pets were as sensible as you, I should have raised one. 300,000 is not a loss at all. Quote. You don't need to feed that dead girl. She usually doesn't eat less. Recently, she lost weight. It's better to eat less. Mom, I don't lose weight, I'm very slim among my peers. Do you have a conscience that doesn't hurt? Joe K gritted his teeth. How did Kiki conquer the old mother in a short period of time? Although this was something Joe K was looking forward to, why didn't the old mother treat herself as her own daughter? My God, will the family status be infinite -1 in the future? How old are you? Eat less. Kiki is growing, isn't it only a month old, give it more food. Father Joe came to the hall. He touched Pichu for the first time and praised. The Pokémon company is really powerful, and Kiki's intelligence is not normal. I posted on Moments last night, and many of my friends were envious. They also made reservations, but it will take 2 or 3 months to receive them, tisk. Father Joe looked shy. Dad, I'm growing too. Joe K was even more speechless. Father, have you forgotten that I am your precious daughter? Loved me so much before. Okay, go back and bring you and Kiki a bag of Sydney. Father Joe said a few words and went out to the company. Joe's mother turned back to work. Joe K propped her chin, watching Kiki eat Sydney. Yeah. Kiki picked up another piece and brought it to Joe K's mouth. Joe K glanced at his mother quietly, opened his mouth to cover it secretly, chewed it carefully, and muttered vaguely, I didn't see you wrong, you still have a conscience, Except for the 2 foreign ones, all of them have been delivered so far. It doesn't seem to be a big problem for the time being. Lu Sheng exited Pichu Kiki's perspective with a smile on his face. Basically, every Pichu will be cared for by its owner when it arrives home. After all, only 300,000 is not cheap. Being able to accept Lu Sheng's stricter requirements and paying for Pichu at least shows that the buyer really wants it. However, some people may have pets on a whim. Over time, it might get boring. Otherwise, there would not be many stray cats and dogs in the city, because they were too brainy to buy them home, and then they got tired of playing. They had to deal with trivial matters for cats and dogs every day, so they abandoned them. Or if you don't consider it carefully at the beginning, you are not allowed to keep it at home, or the landlord does not allow it, which will also cause stray cats and dogs. Pichu are expensive, and they are destined not to be easily abandoned. Lu Sheng believes in an empathetic Pichu who can easily fit into a human family. Like Kiki. Lu Sheng observed some of Kiki's behavior in the morning, and it is easy to understand why Joe's parents and Joe's mother suddenly changed their attitude towards Kiki. Last night, Joe K's parents were still indifferent to Kiki. In the morning, Kiki continued the charm offensive. Without Joe K present, the two quickly put down their airs and interacted with Kiki. After that, he was directly captured by Kiki. And Kiki is not annoying, she even goes to the squatting toilet when she goes to the toilet, and flushes after finishing work. Joe K only taught it once yesterday, and it immediately learned. When I got up in the morning, I went to the bathroom to wash my face with water. Mother Joe's mouth was like a tofu, but she couldn't help licking it a few times anyway. The next thing is just fine. When the two parents summed up, the little things were really cute and caring, and they were more worry-free than their daughters, so they put down the shelves and had the scene in the living room. Lu Sheng watched the whole process and only thought that Kiki was very smart and knew how to find Joe K's parents alone. Not only Kiki, but other Pichus are in a similar situation. The elders don't like it. Fine. Pichu gets it done in 1 or 2 nights, becomes the darling of the family, and has a child status of -1. Buyers who have received Pichu will basically take a video and upload photos to social platforms, and by the way, tell about their tragic situation in the family. All kinds of videos are widely circulated on the internet for Pichu, and Pichu's cute image has been recognized by more people. I can't afford Pichu at the moment. If I can make a doll, or a figure, that's fine. A netizen commented on Lu Sheng's Weibo and received thousands of likes. Arrange. Lu Sheng replied to the netizen. It's not just perfunctory and big cakes, there is such a link in the original plan. At present, Lu Sheng is still looking for a foundry factory and planning. Lu Sheng also doesn't get hot-headed and makes a lot of dolls. After all, the popularity is not particularly high at present, and a large number of peripherals are easy to smash into hands. Inside the office, Lu Sheng put down the phone. Huang Xiaoyu came in from outside. Mr. Lu, Manager Luo from Nanfeng Shipping Company is here. Please come in. Lu Sheng knew that Luo Dan couldn't wait to sign a deal with the Pokémon Company. For the performance of Nanfeng Consignment this time, if the full score is 100, Nanfeng Consignment can get points. According to the agreement between the two, Lu Sheng will sign an agreement with Nanfeng Shipping, depending on whether Nanfeng Shipping is willing or not. Luo Dan came in from outside and said excitedly, Mr. Lu, can we sign an agreement with our company? This time, Lu Sheng took the initiative to call Luo Dan. Yes, but before that, I have to tell you one thing. I'm afraid you may not want to sign after listening to it. Lu Sheng leaned back in the chair and smiled. How is that possible? Luo Dan shook his head firmly. Do you know why I asked you Nanfeng for consignment? There are at least 5 domestic counterparts that are better than your Nanfeng consignment. Why? Luo Dan was stunned for a moment, but he did have doubts at the time, but when he turned around, he was overwhelmed by joy. Because others don't want to take my order, you should know about the Yujin Alliance. Nanfeng is not a member of the Yujin Alliance, so I will find you. As far as Lu Sheng knows, the Yujin Alliance is still recruiting members, and everyone is welcome, big or small. It is really strange that Nanfeng Shipping did not join Yujin Alliance. Leap Forward Alliance. Luo Dan raised his brows and said in a sullen voice, why didn't the Yujin Alliance accept Lu Zong's list? Is it possible that Lu Zong has offended them? Lu Sheng nodded and said, yes, I still offended their boss Huang Yutao. He wanted to buy my company with 10 billion yuan, but I refused, and then he wanted to invest again, and I refused again, so Huang Yutao forbade members of Yujin Alliance from taking my orders. Quote. 10 billion acquisitions. Luo Dan was taken aback. This is a secret, not many people know it, and it is the first time he knows it. Actually offended Huang Yutao. Luo Dan's eyelids drooped, and the evaluation of Huang Yutao from the outside world flashed in his mind. This person, Power Trip, is domineering and has been involved in the field of genetic biology since last year. Everyone talks about business, and it is more or less profit. There is no permanent enemy. As long as you reach a certain point, you can still become a partner. Huang Yutao is different, the Canthus must be reported, and he just wants to be happy. In just 1 year, he has made many enemies. Because the Zhanwang Group has a big business, it can stand the toss, but it is not afraid of offending people. The layout in the field of genetic biology in the past year has also achieved initial results, and Yujin Alliance is one of his great efforts. So, now Nanfeng Consignment still has to sign an agreement with Pokémon Company. Lu Sheng took a sip of coffee and looked at Luo Dan quietly, the other party's expression changed too obviously. Obviously, Luo Dan was frightened. After a long time, Luo Dan smiled bitterly. Mr. Lu, to tell you the truth, our Nanfeng Consignment cannot enter the Yujin Alliance. If we could enter the Yujin Alliance, we would have entered earlier. Oh. As far as I know, the Leap Forward Alliance is better to join. Lu Sheng thought that Nanfeng Shipping was unwilling to join because he could not get any benefits from the Yujin Alliance. There seems to be another secret. Our chairman offended Huang Yutao's trusted secretary, so. Lu Sheng suddenly realized, Secretary Song. Yes. Luo Dan nodded. That brain-dead secretary. Lu Sheng smiled. That's right, it's really brainless. Come to our company to yell. It seems that Mr. Lu was also angry with him. Luo Dan seemed to have found a common language, and said happily, our chairman was very angry and gave him a kick. Later, the application to enter the Yujin Alliance could not be passed. I just gave up on it. Understood. Lu Sheng asked again, so, do you want to sign an agreement with my company? In fact, even if the agreement is not signed, the business between everyone can still proceed. I am quite satisfied with the results of your consignment this time. There is a big difference between having an agreement and not having an agreement. Luo Dan thought. I'll first ask the chairman what he means, he'll decide this kind of thing. Luo Dan temporarily left the office. 3 minutes later, Luo Dan returned to the office and smiled. Mr. Lu, our chairman said that we can sign. It is good. Lu Sheng said with satisfaction. I hope you will not be dragged down by me. You should understand Huang Yuteo's temper. I'm afraid of an egg. Luo Dan stretched his neck, quite heroic. The content of the agreement signed by the two companies is not complicated, and there are several main clauses. In the future, the consignment business of Pokémon Company will be assigned to Nanfeng Company. If the Pokémon Company intends to ship it by itself, it may not be handed over to Nanfeng Company. Pokémon Company will get enough favorable prices and the best shipping services during the shipping process, and prioritize Pokémon shipping. If the quality of Nanfeng's shipments declines, Pokémon has the right to propose a cancellation of the agreement. Overall, the two are mutually beneficial. Lu Sheng does not need to jump into the shipping companies of alliance, and he can still enjoy similar treatment, or even a little better. After all, Nanfeng Consignment provides supreme-level service. Relying on other people's companies to ship the goods is only a temporary need. When enough flying Pokémons are unlocked in the future, the company can no longer rely on others. Lu Sheng sent off Luo Dan, who was consigned by Nanfeng, and Secretary Wen called. After a brief exchange, Lu Sheng left the company happily. Secretary Wen has almost settled the matter at the zoo, just waiting for Lu Sheng to negotiate. On the phone, Secretary Wen couldn't help but complain to Lu Sheng, why he had to do everything for him, so that he was not the secretary of the secretary, but the secretary of Lu Sheng. Lu Sheng was quite embarrassed. The reason why I asked Secretary Wen for help in this matter was because of the identity of Secretary Wen. With the help of a secretary, many things can be made simpler, and the procedures are no longer cumbersome. An hour later, Lu Sheng arrived at his destination. The Sea of Clouds Wildlife Park covers an area of about 60 hectares. The ecological environment is relatively diverse, including flat land, mountain forests, and lakes. Compared with other large zoos in Yunhai City, the popularity is completely unmatched. The traffic location is good, there is a subway a few hundred meters away. There are relatively few species of animals in the park, the management is difficult, and there are few visitors, so I want to transfer the management right. Lu Sheng learned about the transfer price from Secretary Wen and turned over several million a year. The price is not cheap, but not too high, within the acceptable range of Lu Sheng. Because Lu Sheng doesn't plan to keep running as a zoo, the procedures in this respect are quite tossing, and the animals need to be transferred to other zoos. If it wasn't for Secretary Wen to come forward, this matter would not be easy to handle. Originally, this piece of land was built as a zoo with the main purpose of housing animals. Now, after Lu Sheng bought the management rights, he wanted to build a Pokémon park, which was illegal. Fortunately, with the support of the director, this matter has become feasible. Lu Sheng arrived at the designated location and met Secretary Wen and the owner of the zoo's management rights. We talked briefly, and things were quickly finalized, contracts were signed, and formalities were handled. By evening, everything was done. The former zoo owner will transfer the animals in the park tomorrow and the day after, and they will be sent to a bigger and better zoo. Mr. Lu, this matter of yours has delayed me a lot of time. Hey, I will run here and there with you in the afternoon, and I will have a lot of things to do tomorrow. Secretary Wen's words are bad, isn't this a serious matter? I remember you said that you want to make our Pokémon Company a signboard in Yunhai City. Stop. The two strolled around the zoo. Secretary Wen couldn't help but complain about today's incident again. In any case, thanks to Secretary Wen for today's matter. I really need to contract a piece of land urgently. After the little guys in the laboratory increase, it is difficult to make room. Lu Sheng looked around and was generally satisfied with the environment. It's not good to keep them in the laboratory all the time. After a week of birth, they can be sent here to feed. Be familiar with the external environment, wait until they are a month or 2 months old, and then send them away. It can reduce the pressure on the laboratory, and the feeding work does not require much skill. You can still sell tickets here, maybe it will be prosperous and earn ticket money. Lu Sheng is not only to give Pokémon a living environment, but also to create a Pokémon paradise, allowing tourists to buy tickets to visit. Are you sure you want to earn ticket money in the future? Secretary Wen couldn't help interrupting Lu Sheng's conversation. Isn't it possible? Lu Sheng asked rhetorically. It's not that it doesn't work, it's Secretary Wen said embarrassedly. Don't you realize that the traffic here is not high? The previous one, as far as I know, because of poor management, the money invested has not been recovered, so I want to transfer the management rights. Zoos are not easy to open. Lu Sheng laughed. I don't open a zoo. Aren't Pokemon more attractive than ordinary animals? It does bring a sense of freshness for a while. After everyone gets used to it, it will be like that. Your company's genes. After all, the types of Pokemon are relatively simple. It's relatively few at the moment, but maybe in the future. Lu Sheng said firmly. As long as it keeps fresh and the location is not good, I believe it can continue to attract tourists. It's up to you, it's not me who spends money anyway. As long as Lu Sheng does not affect the main business of the company, Secretary Wen does not intend to interfere. The secretary of this letter thought that Lu Sheng bought the management rights just to give Pokemon a space to stock up. He never thought that Lu Sheng would open up to the public. Maybe it can be prosperous, maybe it will be tepid like the old zoo. Animals continued to move for the next 2 days. The original zoo staff were not dismissed, but most stayed. After a simple cleaning, the zoo is refreshed. When the employees learned that they needed to take care of the genetic creatures, they were all at a loss. They have no experience in this area. Only a few 100,000. After some employees inquired about the prices of Pichu and Squirtle, they were all very scared. If one is not careful and does not feed well, will it cost a lot of money? And I heard that some genetic organisms are extremely lethal, and Lu Sheng didn't plan to keep them in a cage to feed them, which immediately scared some employees. Some people even retreated and planned to resign. However, Lu Sheng improved their treatment by a part and kept them. Originally feeding does not require much skill, their original salary is actually enough. Lu Sheng has a personal idea of raising his salary, and hopes that they will have a serious and correct attitude towards work in the future. On the eve of Pokemon's arrival, the zoo staff were uneasy. About to get along with completely strange creatures, and they are not in a cage, with more amazing lethality. The zoo has stopped selling tickets to the outside world. There are no longer the 7 characters, Sea of Clouds Safari Park, at the entrance, and it turns into Pokemon Paradise, instead. Many tourists who want to go to the zoo on holidays are confused. Some of the original equipment is being dismantled, and the cages are not needed at all, but if you want to dismantle all of them, it may take a while. Lu Sheng was thinking in his heart that he would replan the layout of the zoo in the future. At present, some places are really unpleasant. Okay, did the last batch get on the bus? At the entrance of Laboratory No. 2, Lu Sheng, Zhou Churan and others were directing Pokemon into the big truck. Lu Sheng called several cars to open the car in one go, ready to transfer the Pokemon and a few items to the park. Well, it's all done. Zhou Churan took the lead to climb into a big truck to soothe Pokemon's emotions. One person will be arranged to accompany each car to avoid problems. Lu Sheng gave an order, and the big truck set off in a mighty way. There have been deliveries before, and this is the last one. Laboratory number 2 is not particularly far from the park, and it takes about 40 minutes to arrive. The big truck stopped at the entrance of the park. Lu Sheng jumped out of the car and clapped his hands. Get off one by one, don't push. Pichu Pichu tilde. Jenny. The little yellow and blue figures jumped down one by one, and they were arranged in several neat queues, looking around curiously. There were already many passers-by around. After a few trips, a lot of people gathered. Mainly the merchants and residents near the zoo, they took out their mobile phones and cameras to take pictures. So cute. Pokemon Company. Wow, the park has become a paradise, no wonder. Will it be open to the public in the future? Maybe it can be reborn, and our store may be saved. Good boy. He actually knows how to line up. I heard that the intelligence is very high, only 300,000. A lot of people were talking about it in high spirits. Some merchants are the happiest. If this place can attract more traffic, the business that they are gradually unable to do, maybe it will improve. Everyone, come with me, don't fall behind. Lu Sheng walked ahead and smiled back. There are a lot of Pichu and Squirtle, lined up in teams, and he looks like a kindergarten teacher. Come out, you two, don't eat. When Zhou Churan was checking a big truck, he saw Squirtle and Charmander sitting in the corner eating snacks. Little boy, when did you steal snacks? She had a black line, climbed up, and carried Squirtle and Charmander down. Don't think about it, it must be the little guy who did it. Jenny. The little girl gestured at Charmander. Don't talk nonsense, I know it must be you. Charmander looks honest and never steals. Zhou Churan put them in the queue and gave Xiaojiao a chestnut. Jenny. The little boy danced and danced, as if he had been wronged by the sky. Okay, hurry up and keep up, the snacks are confiscated, eat them every day, be careful you will grow very fat later. Zhou Churan grabbed the snacks and reprimanded him with his hands on his hips. Jenny. The little girl was dejected and followed the queue. Following behind, Charmander quietly stretched out his hand, revealing 2 small snacks, which he ate in one bite, chewing contentedly. The small flame on its tail caused many passers-by to exclaim. This is the first time Charmander has appeared in the public eye, and everyone has speculated what kind of creature it belongs to and what it is called. Another new species from the Pokémon Company. Some people think back to the days when Squirtle came out, not so long ago, and the performance of the Pokémon Company is really amazing. Another brand new species, looks like a fat lizard, but what's with the tail on fire? No one helped it put out the fire either. Passers-by silently feel sorry for Charmander, thinking that Lu Sheng and others are incompetent. They actually let the flame Solacean burn on the tail, and they wanted to step up to help Charmander. Here is where you will live from now on. Lu Sheng led them into paradise. The first few batches of Pichu and Squirtle have been wandering around, in the mountains, in the pond. The old staff were smiling and feeding some little guys. How do you feel? Do you still want to leave? Lu Sheng came to several employees and asked with a smile. Don't quit. Yes, what are you doing, Mr. Lu? Don't tell me, the little one has a good temper and will get close to us soon. I feel that the work in the future will not be as heavy as before. President Lu will reduce my salary. I will continue to do it. After initial contact, they were no longer anxious and had already changed their inner thoughts. Lu Sheng smiled and said, that's good, but don't look at their small size, if they really want to go crazy, not ordinary people can bear it. Before he finished speaking, there was a sound of gravel from the other side. Everyone heard the sound and looked around, and saw a Squirtle just used a rocket headbutt to break a stone. The employees were stunned. It's really a small body and a lot of energy. If such a head hits someone, it's hard to resist. An employee was feeding the Squirtle when his hand shook and he touched the nutritional ointment. Jenny. The little Squirtle yelled in protest. The employee groaned in his heart and tried to wipe his face with a dry smile, but he saw that he touched his face with his hand, rolled all the nutritional cream into his mouth, and sucked his palm by the way. Seeing this, Lu Sheng joked. Actually, you don't have to worry too much about offending them. Their genes are close to humans. As long as you don't do too much, you don't need to be afraid that they will smash you into pieces. As soon as the employee heard the fragment, he sat down on the ground, feeling the rest of his life. Lu Sheng didn't explain much. In the future, if you get along enough time, you will naturally understand that Pokémon has a good temper. When designing them, the personality genes are basically adjusted to be better, and it is difficult to have a mania. Everyone was busy until the evening before finishing work. Mainly to arrange housing for Pokémon, the room that was once placed for animals has become a place for their rest. In the evening, there are still Pokémon roaming the mountain. After Lu Sheng blew the whistle, they heard the whistle and gradually descended the mountain. All the Pokémon were very excited and had a great time playing outside today. Where's Little Boy and Charmander? Lu Sheng opened the Pokémon monitor, and sure enough, the 2 guys were still on the mountain. Enter the Charmander perspective. They were sitting in front of a smoldering pile of firewood. Charmander reached out and plucked a few eggs from the fire and gave Squirtle 2. Just dig out the bird eggs, 2 naughty eggs. Lu Sheng's face darkened. The 2 guys were naughty when they were in the lab, let alone outside. Charmander has also learnt badly recently, and is not as honest as it seems. Lu Sheng sometimes observes the situation in the laboratory, enters Charmander's perspective, and occasionally sees Charmander and Xiaojiao fighting and stealing snacks. It can be said that they have a very tacit understanding. Charmander attracts the attention of the lab staff, and the little guy goes around and steals snacks. Or, they exchange their identities to cooperate. Squirtle and Charmander had just finished eating the eggs when Lu Sheng and Pikachu arrived on the mountain. They wiped their mouths in a panic, but their hands were dirty and wiped on their mouths, leaving marks immediately. Pick up, pick up. Gigi stretched out her short hand, pointed at their faces, and complained to Lu Sheng. Go back to me quickly, even Gigi can see that you have a problem, and want to cover it up. Lu Sheng didn't know whether to laugh or cry, and held one in one hand. After going down the mountain, Lu Sheng thought for a while, he could bring the villa to raise in a few days, otherwise it would spoil other little guys over time. Today's Pokémon transfer has attracted a lot of onlookers. People have uploaded photos and videos one after another. Some people began to speculate on the internet that perhaps Lu Sheng planned to build a special zoo open to the outside world. If only it were like that. I can't afford Pokémon, can't I afford tickets? If it is open to the outside world, I must go and see it. People are in the capital, and they will do what they say. Yeah, I'm going to have a look too. I haven't made up my mind to buy a Pichu before. If it's open to the public, you can take a look before making a decision. I call on the Pokémon Park to open to the public, and I'm happy with 100 tickets. The enthusiasm of netizens is not low, and many people leave messages on the official blog of Pokémon Company, or send private messages to Lu Sheng. In the evening, when Lu Sheng returned home, when he opened a private message on Weibo, there were hundreds of unread messages. In this regard, Lu Sheng gave an accurate reply on Weibo. Currently in the middle of a break, it will be open to the public in a while, and I hope everyone can join us at that time. The message below is naturally an applause. Lu Sheng knows that this is just online popularity, and it really depends on whether it will be popular or not, and it will have to wait until it opens. Anyway, it doesn't take much time and energy for everyone to type on the keyboard on the internet, and they might forget about it when they look back. In addition, Charmander is also exposed on the internet for the first time. The little guy is so pitiful, his tail is on fire, is there no one to help him? Some netizens made similar remarks after seeing Charmander's video. Lu Sheng has no humanity. Someone yelled. Seeing this remark, Lu Sheng was dumbfounded. Day of the Dog. That's Charmander's own flame special effect, and he didn't set it on fire, it's none of his business. If you put out the flames of Charmander's tail, it will harm Charmander. Reasonable netizens named Charmander without pain at all. The flames may not hurt it, maybe Charmander is controlling the flame. It's a brand new species again, and it can control fire. Everyone's attention immediately shifted to this, and they were amazed. Not because of how exotic it is to manipulate fire. Instead, Lu Sheng designed a new creature, not long after Squirtle was born. As soon as the news of Pokémon Park came out, it attracted the attention of all parties. In the evening, someone sent a message on Lu Sheng's WeChat. It was a friend who was added with Mr. Lin last time, and they belong to the residents in the villa area. Boss Lu, I'm Chao Sheng from the last time I met. The other party first introduced himself. Lu Sheng replied, anything. Want to order Pokémon? Pichu or Squirtle? No, Lu always doesn't plan to open Pokémon Park to the public in the future. To tell the truth from Mr. Lu, my company is in the advertising business. If Mr. Lu's park needs advertising, you can come to me, and I will definitely give you a discount on the price. By the way, our company is Dingfeng Advertising Media. Here are some cases made by our company, all of which are relatively successful examples. Send a website link to Lu Sheng on the opposite side. Lu Sheng just had this idea, and Solacian tapped in. Whether it's a Pokémon park or a Pokémon promotion, advertising is needed. In the early stage, you can rely on the company's employees to promote, and when the business expands, you will also need to find an advertising company. At present, for any commodity, advertising cannot be lacking. Even the world-renowned brands, such as KFC, Coca-Cola, Mercedes-Benz, etc., still spend a lot of advertising expenses every year. If you are not famous enough, you don't need advertising. This perception is very wrong. Well-known brands will also be forgotten one day. Advertising can guide consumers and is an indispensable strategic competition method for all enterprises. The more powerful the company, the more advertising investment. Lu Sheng believes that Pokémon will one day be famous all over the world, but there is currently no ability to break the rules of business. It seems that Dingfeng advertising media is not bad. He browsed through the cases inside and searched the internet, and came to a conclusion. At least not a sloppy company. It has been established for several years, and now it has developed well. There have been 3 or 5 very successful cases. Lu Sheng thought for a while and replied to Chao Sheng, "Tomorrow, you can send someone to our company to avoid talking." "Okay. Thank you Mr. Lu for giving him the opportunity, haha, I will go there in person tomorrow. I have admired Mr. Lu for a long time, and I only glanced at it last time." Chao Sheng complimented him and poured out good words without hesitation. Lu Sheng greeted the other party for a while and didn't reply. The next day, Chao Sheng personally came to the company to meet and talk with Lu Sheng. Lu Sheng was not fooled by the other party's words, and carefully consulted many aspects, asking Chao Sheng's thoughts on the promotion of Pokémon Park. After some testing, Chao Sheng did show enough strength. Although he is not the main person in charge of the company's business, he has enough experience in the advertising field to simply raise a few dislikes, which has been recognized by Lu Sheng. The two talked for 3 hours, finalized the advertisement, and decided to sign a long-term contract to package and promote the park in all aspects. The International Gene Biotechnology Exchange Conference is held once a year. The venue is not fixed, and famous cities around the world take turns once a year. This year, it will be held in Yunhai City, Longtang Country. The media is very concerned about today. Although it is only once a year, it is very likely that some technical concepts proposed at the conference will affect the next few years. According to the advanced disclosure of some authoritative media, the highlight of this year's International Gene Biotechnology Exchange Conference mainly lies in 2 points. First, there is a technology that claims to be able to greatly reduce the cost of nutrient solution synthesis. The second point, genetic evolution technology. Since the Pokémon company's Pichu evolved into Pikachu at the New Century Pet Show and made a big splash, in just over a month, many labs have begun to try it. An internationally well-known bio-stagnant water company has started a project and started research in the past month. Everyone knows that if you don't study a flower, you will definitely be hit by the Pokémon company in the future. Originally, everyone thought that the current Pokémon company was just starting, and there was no need to worry too much in the next few years. However, the Pokémon company came out with one genetic creature after another. First Pichu, then Squirtle, and now a red lizard with a burning tail. How long has time passed? Only 2 short months. Is there something new coming out every month? So there is a lot of pressure on everyone's shoulders, and some companies simply plan to acquire Pokémon, or acquire technology, or seek technology licensing. However, Lu Sheng didn't eat that set at all, he held on tight anyway. The Grand Dukes are scratching their heads and have no choice but to increase funding to see if they can make breakthroughs in the next year and a half. In this International Gene Biotechnology Exchange Conference, everyone expects Lu Sheng to come to the stage to share, so gene evolution technology is also an important point of view this time. Shangguan International Convention and Exhibition Center, underground parking lot. Lu Sheng and Secretary Wen got out of a car. Secretary Wen followed only one person. Lu Sheng did not take the others, but followed by Pikachu, Squirtle and Charmander. Originally, Chen Yang only wanted to bring Pikachu, or not. Secretary Wen strongly asked Lu Sheng to bring 3 small things with him. According to Secretary Wen, this time in Yunhai City, as the host, there must be genetic organisms that can come out. So I asked Lu Sheng to bring it. Moreover, Secretary Wen believes that this is an unmissable advertising opportunity. There will be many well-known media present today, and there will be enough exposure. Lu Sheng didn't know how to take advantage of the situation. He was really a child who couldn't be taught. Secretary Wen said one thing after another, and Lu Sheng thought about it too. The rest of the people will bring genetic organisms. It is not too much for him to bring 3. Don't make trouble in the 3rd place, and follow me honestly. Lu Sheng picked up the little girl Squirtle who was hooking up with Charmander, flicked the little girl on the forehead, and said angrily, especially you. Don't touch things around, understand? Be good today, and bring you back to dinner. Jenny. Xiao Jia covered her forehead and called out in dissatisfaction. Secretary Wen smiled and stared at him, thinking it was interesting. The three little guys are very human, giving people the feeling that they are not facing three pets, but three children. Two of the children were rather naughty. Enter from the underground garage elevator and come to the second floor of the convention and exhibition center. During the lift up, people enter from time to time. Lu Sheng stood in the corner, the three little guys lined up in a row, trying to get as many people in as possible. After reaching the second floor, Lu Sheng stepped out of the elevator with his forefoot, and two foreigners immediately stepped forward. Are you Mr. Lu from the Pokémon company? One of the white men's eyes glowed when he saw Lu Sheng. He and another black man noticed the three Pokémons behind Lu Sheng and glanced at them from time to time. You are. Lu Sheng shook hands with each other. The white man was enthusiastic and refused to let go. Ah, I forgot to introduce. My name is Henry Garcia. Has Mr. Lu heard my name? Henry's Mandarin is lame. Although he is older than Lu Sheng, he looks like a star fan when he looks at Lu Sheng. Ah, Lu Sheng guessed that the other party might be famous, otherwise he wouldn't ask. Henry Garcia. Secretary Wen's eyes moved slightly and whispered beside Lu Sheng, an internationally renowned bio-designer. In his early 30s this year, he is well known all over the world. He improved the tempering gene technology, and he is also a genius bio-designer like you. Quote. It was him. Lu Sheng searched for some information in his mind, and said with a dry smile, I've admired the name for a long time. I couldn't remember it for a while. You are not like Mikey in the photo. Haha, it's my honor to meet Mr. Lu, you are really amazing. Henry scratched his head, not caring about Lu Sheng's rudeness just now. I'm also very happy to meet a talented designer like you. Lu Sheng responded with a smile, and the business exchanged a wave of business. Mr. Lu, you are a real genius. Evolutionary gene technology, we can't think of how to do it. Also, Squirtle some time ago. Mentioning Squirtle, Henry raised his mouth and said proudly, others may not know, but I know how Mr. Lu did it. Haha, we will give Mr. Lu a surprise later. What? Lu Sheng looked bewildered. You know a hammer. I don't understand the principle of Squirtle's large water output. This is Pikachu, this is Squirtle, what about this one? Henry seemed to be very interested in the three little guys, and wanted to reach out to touch it, but without Lu Sheng's permission, he could only fool Lear. Lu Sheng laughed. Charmander. Charmander. Henry murmured, as if questioning the name. Why does it keep burning on its tail? He leaned over, and out of curiosity he wanted to touch the small flame with his fingers. Snapped. Charmander jumped up and slapped him on the head. Several people were stunned. Lu Sheng smiled awkwardly, stood in front of Charmander, and said helplessly, it doesn't like others touching the flames on its tail. Fine. Henry touched his head, feeling a little depressed. Snapped. Later Fang Jia also wanted to try it, but also received a slap from Charmander. Lu Sheng stared back, preventing the two little guys from wrestling in place. Lu Sheng talked with Henry all the way. Occasionally, professional terms popped up in Henry's mouth, but Lu Sheng couldn't understand it very well. To enter the exchange meeting, several people need to show an invitation letter. Secretary Wen was relatively straightforward. The other party recognized his identity and let him go directly, and was very polite. Along the way, many people are quietly paying attention to Lu Sheng. As Secretary Wen said, the vast majority of people brought genetic organisms, which are basically rare species in the outside world. Some species may not be for sale yet. Pikachu, Squirtle and Charmander are relatively small in size. Someone rode a big tiger to the exchange meeting, and when they came in from the outside, it was very cool. Someone rides a big bird into the window. If he hadn't known in advance that there was going to be a genetic biology exchange here, Lu Sheng almost thought it was a circus. All kinds of genetic creatures, some of them are docile, some of them are violent. However, all obey the master's orders. Genetic creatures that do not obey their masters are either locked up and domesticated, or destroyed after birth. Lu Sheng and the others moved their chairs and sat down. Someone sent a pair of earphones in the middle of the meeting. There must be multiple languages in the exchange meeting, and someone in the background translates it instantly. One after another, people arrived. At a glance, there were hundreds of people, plus the pets everyone brought, and the spacious hall was a little crowded. There are some media reporters in it, shooting everywhere. Some media reporters pointed the camera at the three little guys in Pikachu, and took a slap. Everyone seemed to be very interested in them, and even a few women came to ask Lu Sheng, and then touched the three little guys. Everyone's first thought when they saw Charmander was basically why his tail was on fire. Lu Sheng only said that Charmander liked it without explaining much. Hobbs of Northam Group also came to the scene, greeted Lu Sheng briefly, and took a seat with the people around him. I'm on stage to start. Secretary Wen explained and walked to the stage. Lu Sheng had nothing to do and looked around. There are all kinds of people, some people Lu Sheng has seen on TV and the internet before, but today is the first time to see a real person up close. Among them, there are long-established experts and designers who have become famous in the past 2 years. Hey, Meowlina. Lu Sheng noticed that in the corner, Meowlina was bowing her head silently, with a spirit dog lying beside her feet. This time, there is no ghoulie around Meowlina. Presumably only Meowlina received the invitation this time. Good afternoon everyone. Secretary Wen began to speak. Meowlina raised her head when she heard the voice, just meeting Lu Sheng's eyes. Then quickly moved away, like a frightened deer. Am I so scary? Lu Sheng touched his cheek and smiled without taking it seriously. With Meowlina's previous temperament, it is impossible to be willing to sit in the corner. Mostly because they don't want to be noticed by him. Confused. Lu Sheng didn't think she was guilty of what she had done before. 80% because she's not as good as me, so she's afraid to meet me. She has always been a competitive woman. He looked back, thinking silently. Secretary Wen made a brief opening speech on the stage. First, he welcomed everyone on behalf of the chairman, thanked the host for choosing Yunhai City and so on. Speak a lot of official language. In the middle is some recent changes in the field of genetic biology, and by the way, Lu Sheng's Pokémon company is brought out without a trace. Lu Sheng once again became the focus of the audience. Everyone applauded for Lu Sheng, and Lu Sheng nodded to all around. After Secretary Wen came down, the person in charge of the exchange meeting came to the stage to give a speech, and briefly explained the belly draft prepared in advance, and once again mentioned evolutionary gene technology. Let's thank Mr. Lu from the East Dragon country again, he has opened up a new path for our genetic biology, evolution. Although everyone is currently researching, and only Mr. Lu has mastered this genetic technology, I believe that in the future, everyone will be able to do it one after another. Lu Sheng's face was calm, but his heart was actually panicked. But don't ask him to give a speech at that time, his technology depends entirely on the system, and he has the strength of a hammer. Okay, then when everyone comes to the stage to speak, who will start? The audience was quiet for a few seconds, and a middle-aged man came onto the stage with a prepared manuscript in his hand. The speeches on stage are all voluntary. Sharing technology is also voluntary. But most people will not reveal all the details at once, and they must hide the key hand. In this way, it can not only win everyone's attention, gain international reputation, and make a contribution to the development of the field, but will not hurt the fundamentals. Although only a few hundred people attended, the exchange conference has attracted international attention. If you can be famous in the exchange conference, the benefits will be more than a little bit. For example, a certain scholar came to the stage to show the latest research results. Some manufacturers learned that if they wanted to obtain technology, they could only go to him for authorization and pay a high fee. Scholars who can usually amaze for at the exchange conference can make a lot of money later. Like Henry, who was very enthusiastic about Lu Sheng before, he used to be a researcher at the Northam Group, but later he came out to work alone, and became a billionaire by relying on a technology shared at the conference. Today, I will simply share with you a recent research result. The stage began to speak. Lu Sheng couldn't understand, but he had to pretend. In the eyes of outsiders, he nodded slightly from time to time, thinking that he was fascinated, but who knew that he was feeling sleepy when he heard a bunch of professional terms. Skip one by one on stage. Isn't Mr. Lu on stage? Henry on the side was slightly disappointed, and smiled again. Then it's time for me to perform. He walked up to the stage confidently. The audience erupted into applause, and it was clear that he was recognized by many scholars. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm your good friend Henry, and I'm here again this year. Haha. In fact, when I was doing technology sharing last year, I didn't disclose the technology I was focusing on at the time, because I felt immature at that time. After 2 years of painstaking research, I think that today, in front of many outstanding designers from all over the world, I can reveal some progress. Henry spoke to everyone in fluent English. The translator's instant translation came from Lu Sheng's ear. There are many coincidences in the world. A technology we have been working on has been completed in advance by a talented designer present. The mysterious creature designer from the East, Mr. Lu Sheng, has used a technique on the new species Squirtle technology. Since you've seen the video, you must be wondering why Squirtle is small, but has a large enough water storage capacity. Let me tell you, it doesn't store water in its body. If I'm not mistaken, Squirtle has the ability to absorb or create hydrogen and oxygen atoms, and induces some kind of catalyst in the body, which can quickly make hydrogen and oxygen atoms into water molecules. That's why we can see them spitting water continuously, but mistakenly think they have a lot of water. This technology, we are currently researching. According to the progress, it may take 1 or 2 years, or 2 or 3 years to have real results. Mr. Lu's technology is ahead of us by a few years. Mr. Lu, is my guess correct? Henry smiled, as if he had discovered a major secret. All eyes were focused on Lu Sheng. Lu Sheng's smile freezes. Henry's opening speech is compelling enough. All the scholars present, most of them lit up and cast their admiring glances at Lu Sheng. It turns out that water is produced by making hydrogen and oxygen atoms. Everyone's attention is on the amount of water storage. The idea was not right at the beginning. Henry started his research 2 years ago, but now he says he is a few years behind Lu Sheng. It's amazing. A generation of young people is better than a generation. Technology is innovating, and I admit that it is not as good as young people. Everyone knows Henry's level. He can take the initiative to admit that he is a few years behind in technology. Lu Sheng is indeed a veritable genius designer. Henry is also very good, he can actually think of a deal with Lu Sheng, hey. Everyone whispered and talked about it in a low voice. Originally, Lu Sheng's attention was not low, but after Henry raised it again, Lu Sheng suddenly became the focus of the audience. Lu Sheng was in a trance. What the hell? Is this the Squirtle principle? I don't read much, don't fool me. He doesn't know how the system does it, but Henry is really doing this subject and has achieved some results. The most crucial point, Henry made up his mind and shared his experience with everyone. Unconsciously fooled everyone. Yes, Lu Sheng uses this technique, he is too strong. Lu Sheng could think of what everyone was thinking at this time, and the corners of his mouth twitched, feeling very embarrassed. I want to tell you the truth. But he had to pretend to be an expert, so he turned from astonishment to a faint smile, and his eyes showed appreciation again. A series of Oscar-like performances immediately conquered everyone present. Sure enough, he must be more surprised that Henry can find out the reason. Everyone thought. Henry enjoyed everyone's compliments, and tirelessly asked, am I guessing right, Mr. Lu? Makes sense. Lu Sheng gave a vague answer. How could it be possible for him to make a clear statement? If Henry is fishing, or Henry's idea is not feasible, can it be disproved that he has a problem? Therefore, at this time, it does not show that Henry's thoughts are the same as his own, but only makes sense, which can be regarded as flawless. When everyone present heard it, they thought that Lu Sheng had admitted it, and didn't think much about it. Henry was elated and continued the passionate speech just now. It is still the same topic, starting from the initial conjecture, and starting to talk about how their team overcomes difficulties and the troubles they encounter, and lists several professional data from time to time. After listening to this, many people suddenly realized, and praised Lu Sheng's genius. Yes, Henry lecture, everyone praises another person. Henry didn't care at all. In his opinion, Lu Sheng made results earlier than him and applied them to practice, and he was much better than him. Lu Sheng smiled in his heart. Make up your brain well, make more brains, every TM is full of talents. The above is what I shared this time. I hope it will inspire everyone, thank you. Henry bowed very politely and stepped off the stage. There was applause from the audience. Secretary Wen was on the side, clapped his palms, leaned slightly, and said with a smile, I think it's better for you to go to this speech, after all, you have more skills. Fortunately, Henry is helping you promote this time. Cough cough, I don't like to be in the limelight very much, just go on stage. Lu Sheng almost choked, and hurriedly covered it with applause. How can parallel imports compare to real ones? Henry returned to his seat and said with great honor, is Mr. Lu satisfied with my speech and speculation? Well, very good. Lu Sheng vaguely mentioned it, unwilling to continue to struggle, and turned to another topic. How many days are you planning to stay in Longtang Kingdom? Henry's eyes lit up and said, does Mr. Lu want to invite me to be a guest? To be honest, I can't wait to visit Mr. Lu's laboratory and share some insights in the field with you. Do not. Lu Sheng waved his hand quickly and said, I just asked casually, I didn't have that kind of intention. Henry opened his mouth and said helplessly, it seems that Mr. Lu thinks that I am not qualified, right? I will prove my ability until the day you recognize me. The next moment, Henry burst out with a strong fighting spirit. Lu Sheng was speechless. When Henry returned to his seat, Secretary Wen whispered, Henry is famous for admiring the strong. In the past, he also admired a powerful bio designer, and he was often admired in public. Until one day, he was more capable and his reputation was far away. When you exceed that person, meet again and treat that guy as an ordinary scholar. Island Fukuda Masaichi. Lu Sheng heard a little. That one Fukuda Zhengyi was so angry that Henry's attitude changed too much before and after, and his brain was congested on the spot, which caused various media to report at that time. It's not Henry's white-eyed wolf, only the strong can get his respect. Right. Secretary Wen smiled and said, you have to work hard, don't let him catch up with you, this guy is not easy. It's impossible for him to catch up to me. Lu Sheng smiled with confidence. What about talented designers, can they compare with Hanging Bee? After Henry stepped down, several scholars went up in succession. One of them once again aroused heated discussion and attention in the audience. Zhao Bo, an expert in the field of genetic biology of Longtanguo, is currently focusing on the direction of culture medium. In the early years, Zhao Bo's culture solution formulations were widely used. Later, because some of the culture solutions produced by foreign formulas were better, Zhao Bo's culture solution was outdated, and he gradually withdrew from the market. In the first half month of the exchange conference, Zhao Bo announced that the formula of the new culture medium will be disclosed at the exchange conference, which can greatly reduce the cost of culture medium. It is one of the main focus of this time. Ladies and gentlemen, after the afternoon, I'm Zhao Bo. A middle-aged man who is gentle and gentle began to speak. Lu Sheng was drowsy until he heard Zhao Bo mention, my formula can reduce the price of culture medium on the market to about 15% of the original. At that moment, Lu Sheng's spirit was shocked. Not only Lu Sheng, but everyone in the audience was shocked. If the cost of culture medium is reduced to 15%, it will definitely cause turmoil in the market, resulting in a substantial drop in the price of culture medium. Could cause a lot of trouble for many companies that make culture fluids, and also spawn more bio companies. Lu Sheng was thinking about this at this moment. The price of culture medium is reduced, and the cost of Pokémon cultivation will also be greatly reduced, which seems to be a big step forward from the civilian price he promised. The crowd started to riot. Zhao Bo talked endlessly on the stage, showing a lot of experimental data on the projector. Many scholars have seriously thought about it and have already believed it by 7 or 8 points. Thank you all for listening. By the way, if any company needs technical authorization, you can come to me. Zhao Bo took this opportunity to expose to the outside world. Many people in the audience took out their mobile phones, or sent messages to the company, or notified acquaintances. In the future, if the formula is confirmed, the price of culture medium will continue to fall. Today, it was really lively. Secretary Wen sighed on the side. Everyone here has the ability to disrupt the genetic biology market. Zhao Bo also proposed a new formula, which may cause great turmoil in the culture medium market. Some companies may suffer from this, and if they produce too much in advance, they must sell at a lower price as soon as possible. Lu Sheng pondered for a while, his eyes flashing. This is a great good thing. If the selling price of the culture medium is also reduced to 15%, the price of Pokémon can also be reduced to tens of thousands. The single profit may be lower, but the quantity must be improved. Someone else designs a new creature, which requires a lot of money. The only cost that Lu Sheng needs to consider is the culture medium, the difference is too big. Zhao Bo stepped down, and it was the next one's turn. Several people in a row talked about genetic technology. Some people proposed relatively novel concepts, and some people optimized the original technology. Hello everyone, I am Fernken Bell, currently working at laboratory number 28 of the Northam Group. I have made some improvements to the gene editing method that I think are good. The white academic who had previously accompanied Hobbes came to power. Fern talked eloquently, with some arrogance in his tone. Everyone below listened to the lecture seriously. Everyone knows that most of this is the result of the internal research of the Northam Group, and it must be optimized than the methods commonly used by everyone. Everyone guessed that most of the Northam Group has a new version. So I shared the slightly backward version to gain fame. As Fern spoke, many people realized something. It seems that the gene editing method used by the Northam Group is much more advanced than ours. There is only one backward version, which has benefited me a lot. As expected of the number one in the world, amazing. Everyone admires and understands the practices of the Northam Group. Of course, the company must give priority to its interests. Fern finished his speech happily on the stage and made his concluding remarks. Everyone thought it was coming to an end. When someone was about to get up on stage, Fern changed his voice. Mr. Lu Sheng Lu, won't you come up and share with you the experience of evolutionary gene technology? I think scholars from all over the world are very much looking forward to your speech. Fern made eye contact with Hobbes off stage, and something was left unspoken. Hobbes wanted to take advantage of Lu Sheng's concern for face and force Lu Sheng to come to the stage to share some key technical points. Perhaps, the Northam Group can find the secret to the evolution of genetic technology through the few words in the speech. Other institutions may not be able to do it, but Northam Group is the world's first. There are a large number of laboratories and scientific research personnel in the world, and the accumulation of genetic technology is among the best, and no other company can match. Many people below focus on Lu Sheng again. To be honest, everyone wanted to hear it, but no one was too embarrassed to bring it up. Not everyone covets Lu Sheng's technology, but wants to have a look and answer their doubts. A talented designer with a reputation, should he come to power because of his halo? The scholar who had stood up sat silently again, waiting for Lu Sheng's response. Under everyone's attention, Lu Sheng was still leaning on the chair, not intending to get up. Secretary Wen winked at the side, hoping that Lu Sheng would go up and say a few words and give Yunhai a long face. Sorry, this time I came to the conference, I didn't plan to go up. Lu Sheng twisted his neck slightly and glanced at Hobbes, who was watching the excitement in the crowd. Unsurprisingly, there is a high probability that it will be Hobbes, or the commander behind the Northam Group. Did they think they would take the bait? I'm sorry, if you don't take the bait, if you don't, it's not a big deal. That is the ability of the system, not Lu Sheng's technology, so I can't share it with you. Furthermore, even if Lu Sheng really mastered this technique, it is impossible to reveal the slightest details. If someone else learns to walk, wouldn't he cut his own fortune and shoot himself in the foot? It seems that Mr. Lu is unwilling to make a little contribution to our genetic biology field. Fern started to get eccentric. Lu Sheng rolled his eyes and said, I'm not prepared at all, so how can I go up and say it? Besides, this is a major secret of our company, and it can't be leaked, so you can give up. We didn't want Mr. Lu to reveal too much. Don't we have any hints? Everyone, there are many scholars sharing their experiences at the exchange meeting. Can't Mr. Lu even do this? Fern stepped forward. Lu Sheng's eyes narrowed, and he said solemnly, do you want moral kidnapping? If you Northam Group are so generous, would you like to disclose all the technologies? Wouldn't it be able to help genetic biology make a big step forward? No, Mr. Lu said something wrong. Phone smiled and said, I only represent my personal position this time, and have nothing to do with the Northam Group. Please don't involve Northam. I'm a 3-year-old child, will I believe your nonsense? Lu Sheng pouted. Even if you make a request in your personal capacity, I will not agree. Fern said, Mr. Lu, do you want your international reputation to plummet? Everyone will think that you are a selfish and stingy scholar. Although your achievements are very high, the fishing reels must be bad for you. Stop. Lu Sheng waved his hand and said, I don't care about the reputation outside, people can think what they want, it's none of my business. Mr. Campbell, put away your scheming, your move won't work for me. Unless. Fern asked quickly, unless what? Unless you can come up with a genetic technology exchange that is similar to evolution, don't try to take advantage of me. Lu Sheng sat up straight, and said with a smile, unfortunately, you are a worthless piece of trash, you can only be attached to the Northam Group, and it is impossible to come up with genetic technology of the same value. You. Disrespectful guy. When I became famous. Fern wanted to talk about seniority. Stop again. Lu Sheng interrupted for the second time and sneered. What's wrong with you trying to trouble me and calling you trash? As a researcher, you only play tricks, you only deserve to be called trash. Total uproar. Many researchers are more naive, silently agreeing with Lu Sheng's radical remarks. You. Fern was very angry, shaking all over. Rude fool, To be humiliated in front of such a big stage, maybe even known by people all over the world, it's no wonder that he can maintain his demeanor. Aren't you upset? Come, bring your genetic creature, and follow me downstairs to have a fight. Lu Sheng got up. The more popular way of fighting at present is not between people and people, but a duel between genetic creatures is enough. Only by completely disrupting the opposite rhythm can this matter be brought over. This is also the reason why Lu Sheng scolds rubbish in front of the public and does not consider his quality. If you are afraid, you can refuse, and I will not laugh at you. Lu Sheng used another trick to completely block Fiend's retreat. Phone was stunned for a moment, his expression solemn. Who said I was afraid? Genetic creatures that can release discharge flow or nothing. Our Northern Group's Black Electric Panther is stronger than Pikachu. A vigorous black leopard jumped onto the stage, facing the audience, his eyes flashed fiercely, and there were bursts of low roars from his throat. It's just garbage. Lu Sheng smiled lightly. Pikachu, Squirtle and Charmander on the side have three cute faces, in stark contrast to the Black Electric Panther on the stage. Many people at the scene were stunned. Why do you want to do it without saying a word? Some people came out to dissuade the two, and some people watched from the side. Lu Sheng had already walked to the door, and Secretary Wen followed closely, persuading him, don't be impulsive, his Black Electric Leopard is an adult. You three are all little babies, how do you fight? If the three little guys are injured later, Secretary Wen will feel distressed. How old are they? They are about to come out to help their master fight. Have to fight, it's just a kitten, see how Pikachu teaches it. Lu Sheng also wanted to try out the recent training results. Pikachu now has multiple skills, enough to clean up a Black Electric Panther. Kitty. Secretary Wen said ashamedly, a big black leopard is bigger than the three of yours combined. I know that the Black Electric Leopard is strong and fierce. It can also release the discharge flow, and it can be immune to a certain degree of current attack. Quote. Called Fang Ji. Lu Sheng stopped talking. Fern in the rear was whispering to Hobbs. Hobbs discouraged one or two a little, but Fern was so angry at this time that he couldn't listen at all. I have to teach him a lesson, ignorant fool, insulting me in front of so many people and the media. Fern said angrily. Oh, why is it different from the plan? Hobbs sighed. Originally, it was only intended to run on Lu Sheng by words, but it turned into a duel between genetic organisms. Don't embarrass our Northam Group. Be careful of Pikachu's Thunder Shock. It seems to be called Thunderbolt, with a lot of power. Hobbs' reminder. The Black Panther can withstand Thunder Shock better than most genetic creatures, and Fern's eyes flashed and said, just be careful, with the agility of the Black Electric Panther, it is enough to avoid Thunder Shock. Not only will I defeat him, but I will also make him feel ashamed, so that he understands that the genetic creature he designed is garbage. Quote. Fern has a bold idea in his heart, maybe he can challenge the three little things on the opposite side at one time. A group of people followed the two downstairs. Due to the popularity of genetic biology gladiatorial fighting, there are fighting places in almost many places. The International Exhibition Center also opened up an open space for the guests to fight. Come on, who wants to bet with me? Haha, I bet on the Black Panther to win. Someone with itchy hands took out a few banknotes and waved their arms to everyone. I'm here, I'll bet on Pikachu. Someone took it. Someone took the lead, and the others also began to gamble. This black electric leopard seems to be an adult. After being trained by a well-known training room, I heard that it killed a giant python in a battle. Its combat effectiveness is amazing. Pikachu is not weak. I have seen the video. That thunder shock ability, tisk tisk, I am afraid that not many genetic creatures can withstand it. The Black Panther can also release the discharge flow, and it can withstand higher power. I wonder if it can withstand Pikachu's Thunderbolt. A sudden gladiatorial fight added some interest to this conference. We don't care who can win on both sides, as long as they can play wonderfully. Most of them are more optimistic about the black electric leopard. After all, they are bigger, they are still adults, and they have high-intensity training. How old is Pikachu? And without professional training, it may suffer in the battle later. Maybe in a few seconds, the Black Panther will eat that poor little mouse. A scholar joked. Stand face to face on both sides. Lu Sheng motioned for Pikachu to play. The Black Electric Panther moved gracefully, hovering in front of Fern, its scarlet eyes full of murderous intent. Everyone consciously gave up enough space to avoid accidental injury. Are you two ready? Henry, who acted as the referee temporarily, asked both sides. Wait. Fern licked his chapped lips and said with a weird smile, Lu Sheng, I'm going to use the Black Electric Panther to challenge your three little things at once. To deal with a Pikachu, I think it's too childish. My Black Electric Panther has passed through professional training. If you beat Pikachu too easily, everyone will think it's unfair. Everyone was stunned, and they didn't expect Fern to have a hard time with him. But Squirtle and Charmander don't seem to be much. If they do play, they won't cause much hindrance to the Black Panthers. You sure? Lu Sheng's expression became strange. Sure. Fern was full of confidence, despite Hobbs' secret wink. Okay, it's the first time I've seen such a strange request, so I'll satisfy you. Whether it's 1 or 3 pieces, I will not discuss it with you. Lu Sheng patted Squirtle and Charmander and laughed. You two go up too. Jenny. Squirtle is very excited and happy to be with Pikachu. Charmander took his time and stepped forward. The scene suddenly became very strange. Dare to mention, dare to promise. Cough, are both sides ready? Henry asked again. Okay. It's time to start. Lu Sheng and Fern met eyes, and in the next second, Fern took the lead in giving an order. Black Electric Panther, first solve the yellow-skinned mouse in the middle. Roar. The Black Electric Leopard, who was ready to go, stepped on his feet, flashed a black shadow, and quickly approached Pikachu. Pikachu, use Thunder Shock. An astonishing electric current jumped out of Pikachu and pointed to the Black Electric Panther. Black Electric Panther, dodge. Fern's eyes are quick, and he gives orders quickly. The Black Panther turned around halfway and jumped to the right. Pikachu's Thunder Shock landed on the ground and hit the Black Electric Panther in small amounts, only causing the Black Electric Panther to stop slightly. Fern shouted again, attack the turtle on the right. Jenny. Squirtle seemed unhappy with Fern's remarks. Very fast. Lu Sheng said solemnly, Squirtle, use Bubble. Bubble ability, has a chance to slow down. Jenny. Squirtle opened his mouth and spat out a series of dense blisters. It was the first time Fern saw this kind of move, and the Black Panther didn't care about the translucent bubble in front of him at all, and he went on a rampage. When the Black Electric Leopard touches the blisters, it seems that there are many particles colliding on the body. The blisters burst, and a lot of fur on the Black Electric Leopard stuck to one piece, and there was even a bubble on the foot. When you stepped on the ground again, you would feel a little sticky and slippery. The speed of the Black Panther is significantly reduced. Squirtle, use the water gun. Squirtle opened his mouth again, squirting a protruding jet of water. Get out of the way. Fern exclaimed. The Black Electric Panther was originally good at speed, even faster than the Spirit Dog, but its feet were sticky and slippery, and it was impossible to avoid the current. Puff. It was washed down by the water gun. Pikachu, use Thunderbolt. Lu Sheng chased after the victory and gave orders to Pikachu. A more powerful current splits. Black Electric Panther got up and dodged by instinct. However, it was stained with a lot of water, and there was stagnant water under its feet. The current fell on the stagnant water and quickly led to the Black Electric Panther. Sizzle. Spark appeared on the Black Panther. It has a certain degree of anti-electricity, but Pikachu's Thunderbolt has exceeded its endurance and directly numbs it. Charmander, use Fury Swipes, to end the fight. Seeing Charmander standing beside him, Lu Sheng gave the last order by the way. Charmander and Squirtle were all trained, and it understood immediately, pounced forward, showed its sharp claws, and left scratches on the face and body of the Black Electric Leopard who was trying to get up. Bang! The Black Panther fell. Charmander jumped back calmly. The end of the fight. The Black Panther fell, and the audience was silent. The strength of the three little guys exceeded everyone's expectations, but the reason why everyone was speechless was that Fern actually made a stupid request. Take the initiative to challenge 3. Originally it was Pikachu 1-on-1 Black Panther, because Fern's brain pumped and he chose 1 vs 3. But Lu Sheng shamelessly agreed. It's over so fast, I thought it would last a few minutes. Fern's brain cramps. It can be 1-on-1, but it has to be 1-on-3, and you deserve to lose. Ha ha ha, that's because he thinks it's not difficult. The Black Panther is powerful, but it can't stand 3 rivals. Hey, didn't you find that Squirtle's move was a little weird just now? He can still spit bubbles. It doesn't seem to work, but it's enough to harass and hinder the Black Panther. For this battle, everyone suddenly felt dull. The end is too fast, the whole process is crushed. Everyone's evaluation, Fern's brain is lacking, and the game is ruined. They couldn't help but wonder, without the help of Squirtle, could the Black Panther be able to assist its own speed advantage, evade Pikachu's attack, and reverse the outcome? Everyone is just guessing, the ghost knows what other abilities Pikachu has. The species designed by Lu Sheng is so special that everyone still feels unfamiliar. For example, the Thunderbolt just now, how can a small body emit such a large current? Is the whole body battery made? Even the physique of the Black Electric Leopard can withstand a certain amount of electricity, but also paralyzed because of the Thunderbolt. That current really has Thunderbolt. At that time, when Pichu evolved into Pikachu, Lu Sheng came with his mouth open and never tested it at all. Most people in the outside world thought it was Lu Sheng's second illness, and after a while, Solacean gave Pikachu's Thunder Shock ability a slightly forced name. Some people guessed right. It's true that Pikachu's abilities are not fully utilized. If Fern doesn't have a brainstorm and comes on a whim, with Pikachu alone, Black Electric Leopard can hold on for a while longer. Fern came to the Black Electric Leopard, and after exploring his heart, he breathed a sigh of relief. It doesn't seem to hang up, but it needs to be sent for treatment in time. Pick up. Lu Sheng's shoulder sank, and Pikachu jumped back. I usually tell you to eat less, but now you've gained a lot of weight. If you're too fat in the future, don't squat on my shoulders. Lu Sheng's face darkened. Pick up, pick up. Gigi responded unconvinced. Go back and have your rations. Lu Sheng patted Gigi on the head without giving Fern a second look. As he was about to walk away, Hobbs coughed and hurried to catch up. Hobbs had scolded Fern hundreds of times in his heart. Obviously do not need gladiatorial fight, must agree. Even if you agree, you have to ask for a brain-dead request. Even if you make a request for mental retardation, you never get hit. When others mention it later, it can be called a laughing stock. What's up? Lu Sheng's tone was cold. The mastermind behind the whole thing, Hobbs certainly can't get away. There is no need to give a good face when others treat him like this. Cough. For Fern's matter, I apologize to Mr. Lu for him, he is too impulsive. I hope it will not affect the friendship between me and Mr. Lu. Hobbs was polite and kept things clean. No matter who wins or loses in this battle, he has to pretend to play a wave, and he can't make the relationship too stiff. Yes. Lu Sheng said bluntly. Isn't it because you are planning behind your back and trying to force me? This, Mr. Lu's joke is not funny at all. Hobbs laughed dryly and waved his hands again and again. Hobbs, I'm not stupid. Lu Sheng sneered. Do you think that if you give me a step, I will go down the steps to give you, or a face to the Northam group? Hobbs' smile froze. There's something very bad about you Grand Dukes, you're all very arrogant and self-righteous. For example, Zhanwang group, like you. Do you think that you have the background of Northam group? Give me face, and I must take it. I don't have a good temper. You mess with me, and you want me to have a smile on my face. Lu Sheng directly swears. The people around them quickly focused on the two of them. Scholars who understand Longtang language are thoughtful. Foreigners who don't understand, look confused and seek translation from others. Is Mr. Lu being too rude and arrogant to ignore our Northam group? Hobbs' eyes twitched. Look, do you think I'm afraid of using the Northam group to press me? Lu Sheng slapped Hobbs on the shoulder with a smile, and said, Guess, the Northam group doesn't want to evolve genetic technology, so do other companies want it? Hobbs' heart skipped a beat. As far as I know, Char and polar bears have not been surpassed by you Northam too much. If I authorize the technology to them, will the hand of God become the whip of God? The chairman of Northam Group is nicknamed Hand of God. Lu Sheng potentially means to become the whip of God, to beat Hobbs. Hobbs panicked. If it really caused Lu Sheng to defect, the chairman should not kill him. Enough is enough, don't provoke me. Lu Sheng turned and left. Secretary Wen listened to the whole process. He just wanted to be a middleman, but he never thought that Lu Sheng would resolve the situation and successfully kill Hobbs. Take a look at this usually arrogant foreigner, who can be said to be shriveled in front of Lu Sheng. The means are not clever, but the courage is too big. The reason why others dare to do anything wrong is because of the background of the Nosen group in the world. Lu Sheng is good, the newborn calf is not afraid of tigers, but he actually threatens him. Change it to someone else, go down the slope down the donkey, and reconcile in a few words. In line with the attitude that more things are worse than less things, when things don't happen, they will not easily offend a mega giant. Secretary Wen followed Lu Sheng out of the arena. Don't go to the exchange meeting anymore. Don't go, it's boring. Lu Sheng led the 3 Pokémon and was about to leave. Secretary Wen stopped at the front and said with a smile, It's not good to leave too early, or I will take you to go shopping elsewhere, such as the Eugen Alliance conference. Huh? Lu Sheng wondered. Don't you know, there is the Eugen Alliance conference on the first floor of today's exchange meeting, and it's going on at the same time. They invited me, and I may go there. Secretary Wen pointed to the top of his head. Huang Yuteo is also there. I know there is a conflict between the two of you, how about helping you ease the relationship? To be honest, can you hold down Huang Yuteo? Lu Sheng asked rhetorically. Secretary Wen was silent for a moment, then said truthfully, No. Lu Sheng shrugged. If you can't, then there's no need to go, and I won't bow to him. What he likes, some small tricks are not a problem to me at all. 740 inches but. Secretary Wen smiled. Since the chief and I have given you a guarantee, naturally we have to protect you. I have never publicized and supported your company to become a signature company in Yunhai City. I think I need to go up and give them a word. You have me and the chief security officer. You're not going? He asked again. Don't go. Lu Sheng responded lazily and left with 3 Pokémon. Secretary Wen sighed in his heart. Easy to break. I hope that Pokémon company can be under the escort of him and the chairman, so there will be no accidents. Lu Sheng came by the special car of Secretary Wen. He did not drive his own car, so he could only take a taxi in front of the International Convention and Exhibition Center building. After waiting for a few minutes, no taxi came by. Lu Sheng took out his mobile phone and prepared to order a car online, but found that he needed to register a new number, and wasted another 2 minutes. Click to make an appointment, and it took a few minutes for the car to arrive late. Lu Sheng was about to get into the car. Suddenly, a loud bang was heard. The sound came from above the International Convention and Exhibition Center. Immediately, many people were heard screaming. Lu Sheng was stunned and looked up with the driver in the car, only to find that there was a lot of movement on the 3rd floor of the building. The large glass of the floor-to-ceiling window shattered, and a figure fading from above fell just not far from Lu Sheng. With his face up, his body twitched and there was Maynard's bloodstain on the underside of his neck, hitting the vital spot. I don't know if it was broken by broken glass, or was wiped on the neck by a sharp tool. Secretary Song. Lu Sheng immediately recognized the body on the ground. It is Huang Yuteo's confidant, the secretary with cerebral palsy. Thanks for watching.